Gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show you've been asking about for the past several weeks. I was just walking along the beach and someone saw me and they said, "Is that you, Jimothy? You're the intro guy for Wayfarers, right?" And I said, yes, I am. And I know, please don't stand that close to me. And we had a nice conversation. And I told them that Wayfarer's gonna be back. But then we delayed, but now it is back for real. With a brand new arc in this epic tale. Mendax, the most noble rogue. Nigel, the smartest wizard. Apoptosis, the most dangerous dungeon master of all time. And Call the Kenku. Begin the new chapter of this story. Ouch.
Careful, Jimothy. The exit is very dangerous. Yeah, welcome back, everybody. Another episode. It's been a little bit. We had some delays, but hey, that's okay. You know, so long as everyone's staying healthy and staying safe, that's what we all care about. So happy to come back, though. New arc to the D&D Wayfarers campaign. Awesome to see all of you again, Pig and Ash and Neuro. So let's go ahead. It's been a few weeks, so why don't I'll just do a bit of a recap, just in case people don't quite remember exactly where we left off, or, you know, in case I get something wrong and you guys need to adjust that. So, you guys had finished what I like to call your sort of personal arcs, your personal stories, while you were having some downtime in the dwarven city of Tolkarabad. So Nigel was hard at work trying to research this ore and how it relates to the rings. And he kind of got some information from that kind of mysterious creature called the Rock Eater, who let you know that it's used almost like a battery, that you can kind of charge this up. But that seemed to spark some kind of memory with you, but you couldn't quite place your finger on it. And after some hijinks with Steven the cat, and certainly a very normal human in a secret shop in the city, you're able to recover those memories, which, unbeknownst to you, had been magically sort of blocked. They've been, your brain was sort of enchanted, and these were locked away. So you recovered these memories at the end of the episode, where your mentor, your surrogate father, however you want to put it, locked away these memories from you, and let you know that it is him who's working on these rings, but this is a memory from long ago, sort of that you stumbled upon accidentally. So you now have a bit more direction. You have a lead, if you will, on where you can go next to try to figure out what is the purpose of these rings exactly. So now you kind of have an idea of what they're used for, or at least what the ore is used for. You know who made it, or you have an idea of where you can look next to find out who made it, and that's the Master Nivix. While you were hard at work doing that, Call stumbled upon an underground fight club, an arm wrestling ring, and worked his way up the ranks until he fought the leader in a battle of physical prowess. And though he was unable to stand toe-to-toe and claim victory, he did put in quite a good fight. And I think you made away with his scarf. Yeah, one of his silk scarves that he handmade himself. So you now have the very fashionable yellow silk scarf from Papa Brunt the Minotaur. And while you were doing that, Mendax got caught up in sort of the local thieves guild. Certainly just happened to happen, you know. And you took place in their annual tournament, their thieving tournament. Who can steal the most valuable item in Tolkarabad within the month and turn it in? You were able to steal the tiara from the king's cat, Princess Fufu. So you made away with that and were able to turn it in successfully after almost being double-crossed by a couple of your quote-unquote friends. I mean, you know, there's no honor in thieves, so who knows? But you were able to win. You made away with a pretty hefty sum of money, actually. I think totaling at around 800 gold after you had some of it stolen from you that night. and a bag of disappearing powder that has one charge in it and kind of can give you like temporary invisibility. It's a very sought after item, for thieves and rogues and assassins alike. So just to kind of, that's where we're at right now. We'll go ahead, unless there's any questions or you guys need some clarification. Again, great to see you all. It's been too long. We can just start off there. We left off with Nigel, who was in his room winding down for the night. You took that potion, you uncovered these memories, and then we kind of left off there.
Yeah, cut off there. It's been too long. It's just good to be back with you guys and hear those voices again, see those faces. Yeah, so basically I'd come back and just slammed into my body, and that was where we cut off, right?
Yes. You had this out of body experience where you entered your own sort of that thought mansion kind of palace, the way you organize your mind and your thoughts, and you're now kind of back in.
Okay, so do we remember what time of day it was?
Yeah, if I recall correctly, and you guys can correct me on this, I think you went back to your room. I believe you were winding down for the night. So we'll say that it's dusk, maybe 8 or 9 o'clock. It's not super late if there's anything you needed to do. I mean, that's barely late at all, but Nigel respects his sleep. And you have been grinding hard for these past 3 or 4 weeks, sleeping in the library, and burning the candle at both ends, as it would be.
Yeah, I think it's probably a good time just to. I'd like to just check and go see if the others are in their rooms and see if I can share the information.
Yeah, sure. On any given night, I mean, you guys had again pretty much finished up your personal stories by this time. If you'd be in your rooms at this time, that's fine. If you would be out and about in the town, that's also fine. It seems like Call is sleeping in his room, and Mendax, I'm not sure if Mendax is there.
I definitely came back because I was protecting my hold.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we'll say that they're both in their rooms. Mendax is counting over her haul, and Call is fast asleep.
All right, I'm gonna knock on Carl's door first.
Okay, so this is
Stonefish. Yes, who is it?
It's Nigel. Are you awake, Carl?
Well, now I am. You just woke me up.
Good, that was the point of knocking on the door. Can I come in?
Of course. I would open the door.
Yeah,
All
door's open. You have the, your crow scythe in the corner where you like to leave it, and Call hanging out.
Well, Carl, after many weeks in the library, I've started to learn some things about both these rings, the metal in them, our past, and oh, your arms are looking mighty swole there. What have you been up to? Have you been hitting the gym?
In a way, yes. I did some training with the dwarven warriors and other warriors, orcs and humans and that kind of thing, of Tol Caraban. I was brought to their training grounds and did a bit of sparring with some of them. Also got attacked by some ruffians and participated in an arm wrestling club.
Wow, and I've been stuck in the library. It sounds like you've been having a ball. I've been hanging out with a talking cat, a very normal human shopkeeper who most certainly wasn't 3 goblins in a trench coat. The whole thing's been a bit weird the last few weeks. You sound like you've been having a great lot of fun. I've been missing out.
Well, if you ever want to be attacked by ruffians when you're trying to make your way home, that could be arranged.
I'm sure they were no match for the mighty Carl, though.
I was not a good fight for me.
Worth.
Let's not talk about it.
Oh, well, I'm sure you did much better than I would have in the circumstances. But nonetheless, to the point, I have spent many days trying to research. I mentioned to you there's been something in my memory that has just been on the edge of my thought for many weeks, ever since we talked to the Rock Eater and it described some of the properties of this metal. And I finally found out that I actually had some memories that had been magically altered. And it was all to do with the same topic. I've hunted down a potion. I've literally just taken it in my room, and I've just gone back and unlocked a memory where when I was only a young boy studying under the Master Nivix, I was reading up about soul stones, their crafting, and the great powers within them. I'd managed to sneak the book out of his restricted book section. He caught me, got super mad, and basically obliterated my memory. And in its place, he told me to come and see him if I ever remembered this.
What's a soul stone?
I wish I could remember more of it, but to be honest, it's definitely something which involves great powers, and I can't say I'm too much of an expert at it, Carl, but it seems that it shares properties with this purple ore that these rings that we've been cursed or gifted with, I'm not sure which one, it seems to be somehow related.
We'll say, from your memory, again, it's a small only snippet that you have from that. And from the tidbits of information that you read at the time, it is some super forbidden magic. This is some heavy shit. This is not for wizards to fuck around with, and is considered kind of evil in a way.
Kind of on a plane with necromancy, I guess.
Yeah. Almost even farther than that. Necromancy resurrects the dead, so it's just inanimate corpses. This is literally capturing souls.
So you're saying it's a very
time
morally problematic kind of magic.
a little bit. It's we'll put it in the moral gray area at best.
Something no self-respecting wizard would let it be known that he was involved in. So yes, it seems like there is some dark efforts afoot, something. But I think at the end of this, I was hoping to have more firm conclusions, more knowledge of this. Realistically, though, I simply know that more knowledge will be found if we can find my Master Nivix.
Do you know where your Master Nivix is?
Are you familiar with the geography of our land? Because you would know that we are very close to the southeastern tip near the coast. It's pretty much as far on the opposite side of the continent as it could possibly be, is where the Lonely Spire is. It's a very long journey from here.
I'm not familiar with that area. Did you travel all the way from there to here?
He may have just popped me out of a teleporter into the middle of nowhere and sent me off on my way. My master did when he sent me out to explore the world. But yes, I've traveled a little bit, but really not very far, and definitely a journey of that distance would be very, very arduous.
We've been through some arduous shit so far. I bet we could handle it.
Can I would I be able to estimate like how many weeks of like walking it would take to get?
Absolutely. If you were to walk and travel, and you're no horseback, nothing like that, it'd probably take you about a year to a year and a half to get all the way from where you are to the Lonely Spire.
Okay.
So that would be
You're
about
literally traveling across the entirety of the essentially known world.
that would be about 18 Wayfarers episodes.
Yeah, it'd take a little while. I will say, so to touch on a little bit what you said before, Pig. Yeah, you were at the very, very start of this adventure, rather, sort of teleported to what you assumed was just a random location. Teleportation in this world that I have, it's not necessarily traditional in all D&D, but in the world I have, teleportation is pretty rare. That's not something that everybody can do. For someone like Nivix, who is one of the greatest wizards in the land, he would be able to accomplish that. Even for him, it would take him a little bit. He can't just will it into existence. There exists kind of like mage covens, groups of them that usually, if they do have to teleport objects or people even, it takes several of them working together. There are other kind of artifacts that come to mind. Again, they're pretty rare. You've never seen one yourself that have limited kind of teleportation capabilities like that. You could try looking into that. You could try to possibly rent or hire like a caravan, a ship even. There are methods coming to mind to try to reduce this travel quite a bit.
Hmm. Yes, so I'll share that. Yes, it'll take, estimating about the time it took us from Lakewood down to here, uh, close to a year walking to reach it on foot. But of course, if we could get fast horses and change them out for fresh ones, that would be very pricey. That would cut down the time. Maybe we could somehow sail a ship, but I have no experience. I have no idea what the coastal route would be like. So there are other options, but it is definitely something where we could try to do that. Alternatively, if I can find powerful enough mage similar to my master, they may be convinced to help us teleport back over there.
I've never been through a teleporter. Does it hurt?
Does make you a little nauseous, but once you've got your bearings and the dizziness wears off, you feel quite fine.
That sounds fun. Can I come?
I think we should go together.
Oh, thank you.
This is obviously long-term planning and what our next step should be. So should we go see if Mendax is in?
Oh, of course. I wonder what she's been up to.
I hope she's in.
It's just 1 second.
No
1
problem.
second.
Nigel, look
Wait,
away.
fuck,
Look
fuck.
away.
I think she's drunk again.
First, I heard that. Okay. And also, second, you can't be drunk again if you don't sober up. So, fuck off. Okay, I hide my gold that I was counting and rolling around on, into my sack. And then I open the door very casually.
Ah, you actually look quite sober for once, Mendax. How are you doing?
Ha ha. I'm actually am sober and I'm fine. Come on in. What's going on?
Hello. We were just wondering if you wanted to go on an adventure.
Wait, like a further adventure?
Yes.
I thought we were from this one.
Yes.
What nature is this
continuation,
adventure?
Some would call it a continuation of the same adventure.
Well, we still didn't get these rings off.
I know, but I rather like mine.
I'm skeptical of mine.
Is there any reason why? I mean, I don't. I know the people we got them off. The person we got them off was a bit of a shit, but so far they haven't done anything so terribly bad to us, right? Is a reason why we should be wanting these rings off right away?
Well, I know I'm not as worldly perhaps as you two folks who've been out and about, but I did once read the memoir of a great divorce lawyer, Arborius Rex, and in his writings in old age, he actually wrote on length about what he thought it was that led to a lot of unhappy marriages. And he said the one common theme was when both sides were incredibly clingy and wouldn't give the other any space or live their own life. And to be honest, a ring which refuses to get off my finger gives me the same sort of feeling. It doesn't seem so bad now, but it could creep up on us.
Nigel, we really need to get you a girlfriend if you consider this ring your partner.
Do you think we could try using a divorce lawyer to get these off?
That would cost.
Divorcer of magic cursed rings that won't get the hell off my bloody finger, perhaps. You never know. Wisdom comes in all forms and all places.
That's true.
I mean, I'm going to say a solicitor probably can't get these off your finger, though, but if you're having this much of an issue with it, and, why not? Let's continue this adventure, but wait, before I 100% commit, where exactly is this going to continue to? Because if it is in search of a magmalisk, you're both my friends, but I am right out.
Well, he wanted to go through a teleporter.
Yes.
I've never been through a teleporter.
I want to go through a teleporter. I've never been through one. Have you been through one?
I've never been through a teleporter. I've heard of teleporters. Does it hurt to go through a teleporter?
That's the first thing I asked as well.
I feel like it's a reasonable question.
It doesn't hurt. I mean, it makes you a little nauseous, but you get your bearings very quickly. And I hear once you're used to it, there's almost nothing at all. You just jump through and you're in another place, just like that.
I mean, that is what teleporting generally means, isn't it? You jump through and you're in another place just like that.
Then why did you think it hurt? Why are both of you so afraid?
Well, it could still hurt. I don't know. Do you get squeezed a bit for it? I'm sorry, Mr. Wizard Man. Coming into my room in the middle of the night asking to teleport me to God knows where.
Wait, does God know where we're going?
Is there a God?
I thought there
I
were
believe
several.
there's many. A plethora, some would say. So, I will share all the information that I've just told Carl and just retell the whole little story so that you are filled in as well, of course. We're not keeping you in the dark about anything. So the Lonely Spire, where my master resides and where I was grown up and trained, that's on the far side of the continent, a very long journey away. So we have a few options to get there if we do really want to figure out what is going on with these. We could try to get a boat, ride very fast horses for weeks and weeks and months on end, walk for the better part of a year, or hopefully find our way to some sort of organization of wizards and sorcerers who may be able to teleport us.
So, Mendax, real quick, you're a person of the land. You have traveled far and wide with your acting troupe. You know that it will take at minimum a year to year and a half. More likely the year and a half end if you're going to walk. With how quickly your troop moved with horses and caravans and things like that, it was still a very arduous task. You know that the boating and things like that for the southern coast is pretty dangerous. And the reason for that, I don't know if Cobra, you can throw up the area map real quick of the whole continent. I mean, this was a long time ago, but to refresh your memory, the southern end of the continent in the bottom right, that's all, again, this kind of just lake of fire. And then to the left, like the bottom left corner of the continent is like a corrupted undead zone kind of thing. So yeah, it's not very safe to travel by boat on the southern end of the continent.
Oh, good. Okay, so just so that we're on the same page, you were led to a shop by a cat, and you got a magic powder that you took, got really high, remembered some things, and now we need to travel probably on a boat past either a lake of fire or a giant undead zone.
Well, his name was Stephen. I don't think he likes being referred to by his species, firstly. Secondly, it was a potion. I think if it was a powder, it would have been a lot more palatable. It tasted absolutely terrible. But yes, it did jog my memory, or in fact, quite precisely break down a magical obstruction within my mind. And I think this is our best lead. It's something, though, where we can, this is not a journey that's going to happen overnight. So we can find the best course there. We don't need to necessarily beeline directly in that direction. I also have realized that these rings do actually have more use than we may have originally thought. Have either of you had any opportunity to experiment or to gain any utility out of your rings?
I did. I punched someone in the face, and it hit them.
Ah. I guess if you punch them hard enough, it might even brand them. You can see mine still has this spider engraving kind of imprinted on it ever since we took out the broodmother. Is yours the same?
Yes.
And yours, Mendax?
Yes, mine too. Mine as well. I love it when accessories update.
Yeah, it's really quite cool. It's the latest version. I'm not really sure how it became imbued with such powers, but remembering that what I'd learnt about these, and the Rockeater told us about this ore being served as a battery and something that can kind of store up energy of a sort. Now, I don't really know much about the soul stones and how it could be used as such, and that's something we would have to do more research into. But I can do a small demonstration and show you what I've figured out here. So I'm going to pour the ring out, and I'm going to pour a first level spell slot of energy directly into the ring. And
yeah, absolutely. So you don't even actually have to expend the spell slot of energy. It's kind of it's the best way to explain it in terms that your kind of character understands is you're focusing your energy on it, and it sort of is activating it. It's a magic item. It has its own resource of power. So all you have to do essentially is focus on it enough to get it to go, as it would be. So when you do that, you kind of make a big spectacle. You roll up your sleeve. Is the ring on your left hand or your right, by the way? I can't remember.
left.
Left hand. So you roll up your sleeve, which again, you still have that black tattoo of the "Do not lose the spoon" written on your forearm, and you pour in some of that magical energy. You focus on it, and from the ring, almost it looks like the pores of Nigel's hand starts to drip like a green kind of sweat, like a venom almost, and it starts pooling in his hands and sort of overflowing and dripping onto the ground. And does that for probably about 5 to 10 seconds or so before it begins to dissipate. Where it does hit the ground, it's stone. You hear a bit of like a sizzle. It doesn't corrode through necessarily, but it definitely leaves a mark on the floor. But his hand is fine. It's unscathed.
So you're saying these are rings of messing up the floor?
Yes, or if somebody's face is underneath your hand, you could mess up their face.
They're going to think I did this to the floor in here now.
Oh, it's only a little scratching. I'm sure the dwarves will fix it in no trouble. They're masters of masonry, after all. But check it out. Isn't this incredible? It's some sort of acidic poison goo, and it seems rather caustic. The fact that it can damage stone. I mean, this is something which surely we could use this to coat a blade before we go into battle, or some way of imbuing our weapons with this, using it to strike the enemy. Though, actually, it could be a little dangerous if it does end up just eating away at the blade as well. So maybe it's best only used to put directly on the enemy. We may need to test it further.
Can I try mine?
Most certainly, though I'm not sure I can explain how to do it, as you are not a wizard.
Icky sticky goo, go. Icky sticky goo, go!
Yeah, as beautiful as that chant was, if you're just doing words, it's not gonna do anything.
I think you need to try to focus your mind. It should hopefully be attuned to you, and if you can try and direct some of your mental focus or your energy or your spirit into it, while you're also doing your very awesome song, it could work.
Icky sticky goo, go! Icky sticky goo, go!
Okay, well, I'll say that is more than good enough, and you've had now some practice activating other magical items, so you kind of are with the same way that you use the scythe to teleport, focusing on it, and you have a masterful rhyme to boot. So I mean, how could it not work? Yeah, from the sort of crevices on your hand, again, you have some scratch. Actually, question: was the hand that you're doing arm wrestling with, is that the same one that you have your ring on?
Yes.
Okay, so it's kind of mangled a little bit. I mean, it's not like broken, but I mean, it's certainly like you've got scratches. You have bruising, all sorts of kind of. Your hand's a bit fucked up. Just let's leave it at that. But from the like patches where some of your feathers are missing, you can see that same sort of green sweat venom dripping off of your hand. It's a really weird sensation. It's almost like a cooling, as if you stuck your hand in like a ice water or something like that. So it's actually quite cold when this sort of phenomenon happens. And it only occurs for about 5 to 10 seconds. and you fuck up the floors even more.
By the power of the spider ring, I mess up Mendax's floor too.
Are you serious?
Yes!
I'm already a tiefling, and these people already are going predisposition to hate me, and now you're fucking up this fine tile.
We'll just say it was Nigel, Mendax. It's fine.
I could take one for the team, I guess. I mean, that's young.
I'm going to go to
young male
both of your
wizard.
chambers, and I'm going to focus on my ring over both of your floors, too.
Well, fair's fair.
Sticky,
then.
sticky goo everywhere. If it's on my stuff, it's on your stuff.
Fair call, Mendax. Do you want to try it as well? We can go over to my room, and you can fuck up my tiles as well.
Yes, I would like to go over to your room so I can fuck up your tiles, please.
Awesome. You guys head over there. Where's the gold, by the way? I'm just curious.
It's in my sack in my room.
Okay.
Okay. So we're in Nigel's room, right?
Yep.
Okay. Then I'm going to highly focus on my ring. And when I'm looking at my ring, I'm going to focus all of the rage I felt when that little shit Smiggles tried to kill me. Tried to steal something that did not belong to him. Totally rude. And I'm going to focus all of my energy. And in my head, I'm going to recite Carl's chant, but I'm not going to do it out loud because I'm not actually too sure that wasn't what made it work. So, hedging my bets. And I'm going to hold my hand over his pillow.
Sure.
Nigel's pillow.
Yeah, absolutely. No worries. Whether it was the intent to kill or the rage that you felt when dealing with Smiggles, the venom, which does activate from your ring, behaves differently. Before, with we'll say Nigel and Call, they were both kind of just venom, go, kind of scenario. You have a bit more focus with your mind, and you have a very specific emotion and intention here. The venom actually coats your hand. It doesn't start dripping off. It's almost like a glove that stays on there. It's almost like, think of it like water, except for like surface tension all over your hand. So it coats it and it stays there. It lasts longer than the 5-10 seconds that it was lasting for the other guys.
I don't know. I'm just gonna slap the floor with it while it's still working.
Yeah,
And
you
wipe it
you
off on the
slap,
tiles.
yeah, you slap the floor with it, and it does dissipate when you hit the ground, and it does fuck up the tiles.
Why was my goose stickier?
I don't know. What did you have for breakfast?
I actually didn't have breakfast. I don't believe. Did I have breakfast? I don't know. I've had a lot of dwarven ale since I've been here. Things run together.
Well, you should remember to eat. It's not all about booze.
First of all, that's offensive. Second of all, also probably not incorrect, but third of all, what were you thinking about? Did you just chant that thing and it started working? What exactly were you thinking about when you were working your icky sticky goo magic?
I was thinking about messing up the floor.
I simply poured magical energy into mine.
I may have been thinking about messing up someone else.
Do you
Allegedly.
think it was fueled by rage?
Maybe. Like a low level rage.
Maybe spite. I think that may be a very powerful emotion that, from past experience, I believe you may sometimes experience.
I mean, that's sometimes true, I guess, at low levels.
It would be fascinating if that somehow affected the nature of the ring and its poison.
Can you goo more than once in a day?
Well, if you're hydrated enough.
We've lost Apop already. I didn't say it. I may have lobbed, a bit of a grapefruit, but I did not say it, Apop. It was a legitimate magical question.
I'll allow it.
And I gave a legitimate, health-conscious answer. I see no
I agree.
problem.
I believe that I'd already tried it the previous day when I figured it out twice, and I can't use it. Though I could try again now. If I can't remember if I'd actually done that or not. So I'm gonna give it a.
Did. I believe. Yeah, I think you did try to like go for. You were like trying to write notes down, and you wanted to see if you could do that again, and now you can't.
Yeah. Yeah, only once a day. It should recharge when you rest. Similar to any other sort of magical abilities where it has a limited use, yes.
Okay. So perhaps the next time we try it, we each try to focus on a different emotion and see if it behaves differently.
Yes, I'd also like to test it on a blade and see if we could, weaponize it that way, because it's going to be a little hard to actually get into hand-to-hand combat and kind of smear this onto an opponent. But
Not for you. Apparently, I've got a fantastic acidic bitch slap move that I get now.
Well, unlike a bitch slap, from the looks of it, even if they are quite golem-like, it may actually disintegrate their jaw. So it may be a little bit of an escalation if we aren't in a direct combat situation.
Also, I do like how Nigel thought of nothing but violence with this first. I just would like that to be out. Nigel, I'm a little proud of you. Well done.
You two are having an effect on me. Also, it doesn't look too tasty, and I'm not really sure what else we'd use it for, but, maybe I am becoming more violent the more time I spend around you ruffians.
It could be a good cleaning product to clean out some drains or something.
Honestly, I think you could do some really cool sculpture with it.
You just have to work in 5 to 10 second increments. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Has Mendax's stuff dissolved? Is it gone?
Yeah, when she slapped the ground, it kind of broke the surface tension of the venom glove, we'll say, and then dissipated on the ground. Similar effect to back in her room.
Okay, so the next time, yes, I'll experiment with trying to channel my energies into it with some sort of different intent and see if I'm not sure if it's simply attuned to you differently, so it attracts a different form, perhaps in some way. But mine and Carl's was rather identical from what I can remember. It looked very similar.
Interesting. I wonder if... I mean, we know it doesn't hurt us, but I wonder if my goo would hurt one of you. Or if... Do you think it just doesn't affect skin, or it just doesn't affect your skin? Or would it matter since the 3 rings from the same, I don't know, the same person, the same material? I don't know.
I believe because the item is most probably attuned to us, and I mean, certainly as with these rings, they've been attached to us. I believe it would only not affect the user. I believe if you decide to prank me by waking me up and slapping me with that, I am probably going to suffer some very severe damage.
Okay, well, then just remember that the next time you call me a drunk.
The best kind of drunk. I mean it lovingly.
In any case, now I see what you mean about maybe wanting to get these rings off our hands.
Yes.
So I am definitely down for this adventure.
At the very least, we must learn to understand and see how they work. And if we think back to that brigand leader who had abducted the dwarf back in Lake Town, it was, he seemed possessed or not in his right mind or something. There was an odd vibe about the whole thing when we picked up these rings. So it's definitely not something I'm happy to just leave those questions unanswered. But I think we've come to some conclusions now. We've figured out at least a little bit of how these rings work. And we should also keep an eye on them because they do seem to be flexible in some ways. I mean, they've already changed since we've worn them. They seem to be imbued with certain powers, and we don't have the faintest idea of how they do that, or how we can imbue them with new powers, or truly harness it to the greatest effect.
I have a question.
Yes, Carl.
We have a spider on our ring, and we killed a very large spider. How does it tell what we've killed to get the symbol and that kind of thing? Would it just have a symbol of everything we kill, or only special things?
Honestly, it's all guesswork, but it could be creatures of great power, or it could be things that we defeat together. I mean, that was an epic battle that we all went and worked together at for a long time, working our way through that lair. I honestly have no idea, though.
It's fun.
Well, what's fun? No matter what. So we need to get to the spire. Obviously, walking, not a good look. I've been all over the place. As many shoes as I get, I don't think I can steal enough for them to not just be completely worn out, except for maybe yours, Nigel. I feel like your shoes are going to be fine no matter what.
Yes. About that, by the way, in order to unlock the memory block, the enchantment on my mind that my master put there, it was not a cheap endeavor. So I hate to be that guy, but you two may need to spot me the next time we come into any sort of monetary issues. I may have spent every last coin I have, and also literally traded these shoes off my feet, the same ones that you stole, in order to get that potion. It was a hard bargain, and I had to haggle hard to even get the potion for such a price.
You mean those shoes that I stole, that you abandoned once already, that we managed to steal back after I helped save you from that fucking spider, and you just give it to a totally human, definitely not 3 goblins in a trench coat? You're shitting me! It's fine. It's fine. We're going back to that store before we leave. I'm just saying we are getting those goddamn shoes back. Those are the best shoes I've ever domestically foraged.
They actually were kind of fantastic. It really hurt me to get rid of them, but I'm sorry, Mendax. I'm not so good at trading, and I don't have a lot of experience with it. Lifetime indoors. I'm still getting my head wrapped around it, and a few weeks in the library with a talking cat doesn't do the best for your interpersonal abilities, I guess I should say.
All I'm saying is no matter how drunk I am, I have never traded one of your gifts to me for any more ale, or fermented goat's milk, or stonefit, or anything.
But Mendax, he has important wizarding work to do. And all of us have a history. And he is trying to understand his. Is that not more precious than shoes?
It's what the shoes stand for, Carl. It's what the shoes stand for.
What do they stand for?
And also, you can't do too much wizarding, important business barefoot. You just look silly.
But there are many shoes in the world.
Oh, really? Are there many shoes that stay white throughout an entire spider cave? Are there many shoes that stay completely clean and sparkling while hunting down a magmalisk in lava? No, sir, there are not. These are special shoes which I gave to my special friend, and he has tossed them aside, not once, but twice. We are getting the shoes back before we leave. That is the end of it.
Thank you for sharing your emotions with us, Mendax.
Sorry to yell. It was just something I gave to my friend. I thought that it meant something. Apparently not. It's fine if we don't go back for them. It's totally fine.
I was rather fond of them myself as well. I mean, if it really means that much to you, I'm not the best at foraging domestically and being stealthy, but I'd be happy to help you out. I can always turn you invisible if that helps.
No, I don't domestic forage everything. You made this deal. You made the deal. It was a legitimate deal. We will go back and I will buy those shoes back for you. Because I may, in fact, have come into a few coins over the past few days. I'm sure we can get you these shoes back.
Oh, a couple of good days at the dicing down at the tavern, huh?
I was at the tavern.
Ooh, well, that's very kind of you. Well, I mean, I'm kind of pooped. I've literally had a wild journey into a formerly locked off corner of my mind tonight. But perhaps we can go back to the Wizard's Corner tomorrow and then see if we can buy back Alleluia Jackson's special white magical shoes, or at least very stylish at the very least. And then we can try and plot a course forward. Try and see if there's any wizards we could find that could help us teleport. Perhaps investigate any shipping routes we could get a ride on or a caravan across the continent.
For sure. I don't think that's... We could be able to find something, certainly. It's just a matter of which route we decide to take, but I agree, a night of sleep would probably be good.
I want to go on an adventure. The city is nice, but outside is nice too.
Yeah, you guys are definitely getting a little stir crazy. You've actually been in the city for close to about a month now, while Nigel's leg has been recovering. So could use a bit of fresh air and change of scenery.
Yes. My lats, all the gains from those rowing trips, I feel like they're all gone at this point, so we need to get back out there.
We should. Honestly, I probably should leave the city sooner rather than later, so I'm totally good with this plan. Quick as possible, adventure.
To get these rings off, or something, or learn new abilities with them. Maybe we could find a giant something or other, and then have another symbol, and then be able to mess up a floor in a new way.
To messing up new floors.
Yes.
All right, so you guys will say you retire for the night. A lot to process, a lot to think about, and newfound abilities for each of you. Yeah, you each have a fairly restful night's sleep. You, in your own ways, have been working very hard this past month, so it's kind of culminated to a point of, though you've been cooped up, you are definitely still a little tired. Yeah, you guys wake up the next morning, not too early, not too late. You're welcome to do whatever you want. What would you like to do? You want to go back to the Wizard's Corner, is that right? Or are you moving on to something else? I wasn't sure what you guys wanted.
And we definitely need to get back to the Wizard's Corner. We also need to get Goop. Have we picked Goop back up yet?
Yes. No, we haven't picked Goop up, so we're going to go down to the Golem Smiths, yeah.
Okay.
Before I went to sleep, by the way, I did pull my spoon out of my
Safety
my safety pocket and inspected it, and I fell asleep looking into its reflective surface for the wisdom that I trust lies within, or secrets. I assume I didn't come to any revelations regarding the silver spoon.
No, you came to no revelations about it. There is something about it, whether or not this is something you're forcing yourself to feel, but you're starting to maybe even just trick your mind into its importance. You do start to now, you feel like, you know what? This is something I need.
Were you laying on your back and holding it in front of yourself when you fell asleep? So that it would have dropped on your face. I'm just asking. I'm just trying to paint this picture.
Yes.
Good to know.
It's good to know. Yeah, you guys are rested up. What would you like to do?
All right, let's head down to the. So we meet up in the morning. Mendak, shall we head down to the Wizard's Corner?
Yes, definitely. Are we going to grab Carl, or are we going to have Carl get Goop? Or will Goop even go with Carl?
Goop will go with anybody, really, as long as they have his orb, his little control stone. I believe we can
Grab
call
him
it.
by the stones, do whatever you want.
I'm looking through my inventory, actually. I feel like maybe I already gave that to one of you guys, but I can't quite remember. I do have a receipt for Goop's repair at the very least, so I'm not sure if they left him. Black spherical magical stone. I believe that's his control part. So I'm going to actually change the name of that to Goop's Black Magic Stone. All right. Yeah. So I mean, I can always give that to Carl. There is always an issue that it is a secret store, so I didn't really fill you guys in on this, but the Wizard's Closet, it is kind of literally a closet crammed in behind an illusory barrier. I'm not sure that you'll be too keen on multiple customers coming in at a time, but I could definitely have a go at seeing if we can get in again together.
I can give you the gold. I can give you some gold, and you can try to buy back those shoes. We'll see if it's enough, and if it's not, then I will burn the shop to the ground, and I assume the shoes will probably still be there.
Oh, Mendax, you found some work while you were in the city. I thought you ran out of gold.
So I found some work in the city?
Yes, some work. What was what job did you do?
Oh, I'm sorry. Just 1 second. I have to count out this gold to give to give to Nigel.
Take your time.
Nigel, do you think 50 gold would be enough?
Honestly, in the end, I think he was originally asking for something obscene. May have been 200 gold or something crazy like that. Ended up paying the shoes and 47 gold for it. Now, I don't think...
So the shoes would at least be 150 gold. I will give you 200 gold.
Get
a better deal.
Worth it? They are just shoes. I mean, I don't know if even 100 gold feels like a little bit too much for some shoes, as stylish as they are.
200
Did you really
gold?
just say they're only just shoes? I'm going to pretend that I didn't hear that.
I mean, I'll put as much work in as I can to succeed and get them back, but I mean, think about all we've been through in the past for a mere reward of 10, 20, or 30 or 40 gold pieces. 100 or 200 gold. I mean, that's a fortune.
Think of all the potions you could purchase.
It doesn't matter to me. Those shoes are a mark of our friendship and of all the adventures that every step of the way that we have all been together, those have almost the entire time been on your feet. And I gave them to you as a friend. And I want my friend to have them. I don't want a stranger to have them. And I'm trying to do the right thing by buying them back. If you would like me to domestic forage them, I am happy to do that as well.
Well, let's see if we can get in. I don't think domestic foraging is going to be the way to go, since it is a magically protected store, but all right, I'll bargain as hard as I can, and a 200 gold absolute last offer, you say? I do...
At first, come back if they're asking for more. I'm going to give you 200 gold if they like definitely not goblins, but maybe they like shiny things. I'm going to give you I have a silver ring. You can have the gold and my silver ring to get your shoes back.
They do like shiny things, that is certain.
Shoes, gold, gold, gold. Shoes, gold, shoes, gold, shoes, gold. How much gold? Those are great shoes. Okay, can we move on now?
It's hard to move without shoes on your feet. Without proper footwear, you're slowed down. I've given Nigel the gold and the silver rings. Now he can go to the store.
All right. I will head back to the Wizard's Closet then. Let's go.
Okay, so you leave the room and from kind of falling asleep at night and hitting yourself on the head with the spoon, you leave it actually on the table, and as you exit the threshold of your room, you start to feel an itch on your arm where your tattoo is. And actually, if you look at the stream, one of the wonderful viewers of Wayfarers commissioned this artwork from Netherbat for Nigel Spoon in his in the wild, if you will. You feel an itch. You feel almost like a slight burn on your arm where that tattoo is what we'll call it. And you kind of remember, it's kind of pushed to the front of your memory, the spoon that's on your nightstand. And you walk over to it, pick it up, and the itching and the kind of slight burn dissipates.
Fascinating. Either I'm turning a little bit stir crazy, or this may in fact be a magical tattoo. Either way, I'll once again tuck it back in my most safest of prison pockets and make sure it does stay safe as I head off down to the wizard's closet.
Excellent. Okay, so you have a spoon in tow. You exit the room and you are now heading out to the wizard's closet. Is the name of the secret shop. And real quick, just thanks to Moss Neotech Prototype for commissioning that artwork, because that was top tier, my friend. Thank
Is
you
that
very
the
much.
mirror that's on the side?
Yes, yeah. There's some tidbits in there. There's
It's
the
got his
mirror that he
wand.
has. He's got the wand. Yeah, it's all
Is
there,
that an
man.
owl feather?
Yeah, it's almost like it's got everything.
Very nice.
This is Nigel in one picture. It's got unintelligible scribbles. It's perfect. Awesome. But yeah, so you head to that sort of that wall, right? That was sort of hides the entrance to this shop. Yeah, you're there.
Yeah, so I'd taken note of kind of which bricks and Stephen had kind of poked to try to open it up before, so I'm going to try and do the same thing.
Yeah, you go and you do recall the order in which the sort of stones were pushed in like a combination. They don't budge. Nothing moves.
I was really hoping a repeat visit would be a lot easier than the first time, but goddamn. Okay. So, did you stay behind Mendax, or did you kind of come down to the alleyway with me?
I followed.
I came down to the alleyway with you. I didn't go all the way up to the door because I didn't want to be, super shady looking, but I've been watching you not going inside a closet.
So, I believe not only do I need to touch the bricks and the sort of password, but the first time I had to get in, I had to have some beard hair, and I also had to say something true first as a little bit of a ritual. Now, none of us really has much of a kind of, I think it was a beard hair, I believe. We ended up using a dwarven...
You should still have the note, which I believe Bumblemore McFumblestumble gave to you, which had the three things you needed, which were beard hair from a drunken dwarf, a secret, and a cat.
A secret and a cat. You actually do need a cat as well. God damn it. All right, Mendax, I was a bit excited. I may have forgotten just how complicated it was to get in there in the first time. Your shoes may be freaking gone unless we want to spend a bloody long time. They may be something which is pretty much unrecoverable at this point. I can tell you it's through there, so if you want to try and, burn the building down or get away through, maybe, but I have no idea how to pierce this sort of illusory barrier.
Did you try knocking on the door?
There is no door. There is simply a wall.
Did you try knocking on the wall?
I tried knocking on a very specific passworded section, sort of, tapping the secret bricks. You could maybe give it a tap with your halberd, see if it's willing to let us in, but I don't think it'll work.
I could bonk it with the bottom side, the blunt side. Bonk. Bonk. Let me in! Let me in!
Call you tap the end of the scythe on the wall. It makes a very clear and true sort of clang. Nothing happens. You are a stranger to the shop.
Okay.
Oh, I have an idea.
Oh, what's the idea?
Nigel, what's on the other side of this wall?
Well, the store itself, I'm not sure if it's exactly physically right there because it is clearly a sort of magical construction. Inside, the store itself is about the size of a closet. It's very, very small, simply a counter, and it's almost like you're in a rather, a nobleman's walk-in wardrobe or something like that. But I believe there was a tunnel entranceway, right? Sort of like a magical corridor that you walk through once it opens.
Yeah, it's sort of magic. You didn't quite take the time to. You could figure probably as much, but darkness that obscured vision inside, and sort of like a one-way mirror, if you will.
So it's more like a one-way mirror, yes. But it was kind of blocking the light from coming out because it was a very well-lit room, just like a store, but
Super well lit. Yeah.
a large closet, and it was just crammed with items on the shelves on all sides, except for the entranceway. So if you're set on it, we can split up and do it. I can see if I can find Steven and see if he's willing to take me back for a return visit, or we can try and kidnap a random street cat. We also need beard hair from a drunken dwarf. Mendax, I think that's something you'd be able to handle quite easily. And then we can come back and Carl can perhaps share a secret. And we can hopefully gain access.
We can do this. I can get a beard hair off of a drunken dwarf so quickly. It's
All right.
not even funny. And if we need to, I will buy a goddamn cat.
Uh-oh.
Okay. And like an embarrassed teenager who's being caught shoplifting and has to go and return the thing back to the shop, but it's kind of in reverse. I'm getting back the thing I sold. I guess kind of a little bit like a junkie who's gone and sold their mum's TV, and then it's like, oh, can I buy it back now, please? I'm kind of not the proudest of, okay. But all right, let's split up, meet back here in an hour, I guess. I'll quickly head back and see if I can find Steven in the library. Wait back here when you're ready in an hour and a half at the most.
Okay. I'm going to go directly to the tavern, and I'm going to find the most drunken dwarven male there, and I'm going to shamelessly flirt, and then tell him that I'm leaving, never to go away, that we were soulmates meant to be together. Could I please have a lock of your beard hair to remember you? And see if that works.
Okay. Nigel, where are you going?
I'm going straight to the library to look for Steven.
Okay. And Call, what are you doing?
I already know what the secret is I'm going to tell, so I'll do some push-ups and jump squats.
Perfect. Okay, sure. Sounds perfect. Mendax, we can take care of your section of this first. You head to the tavern, the one that you've been to now many times. It is early. It's not early in the morning, but it is in the morning. On a weekday, if you will. So it's not necessarily going to be the most hustling and bustling of places, but you do enter the tavern. Familiar barkeep hanging behind the counter once again. You see that the tavern is mostly empty, but in one of the corners there is a dwarf, and he is sleeping on like the table. Not like on the table, but he's like sitting in the chair, head on the table.
Okay. I'm going to go over there, and I'm going to gently poke him.
Okay. Yeah, you do so. The barkeeper kind of looks at you strangely. Like, okay, I don't know what's happening here. But he keeps an eye on you, in case you try to steal this guy's stuff or something. you poke him, nothing. He doesn't make any sort of. Actually, no. We'll do a roll for it. See what happens. It would take a credible roll for this dwarf to wake up, but we'll see. Nope. He fidgets a little bit, but overall is unperturbed.
Okay. Then I'm going to feign concern. I'm going to go up to the barkeep. Hey, I think this might be the person I was supposed to meet here, but I can't get him to wake up. Can I please have a cup of water for him? I'd like to see if I can't get him to drink it.
Okay. And he'll get a kind of glass, fill it up with some lukewarm water.
Okay. And I take the water over there. My back is to the barkeep right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm going to pretend to be like, I'm going to lift the dwarf's head up gently, quite gently.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, are you okay? All right, just a little bit of water. And I'm going to tilt the cup up a bit. And as I'm trying, I will try to pour a little bit of water into his mouth, so it's not a lie. I am going to then also pluck 2 beard hairs off of his chin with my other hand. So, and then I'm going, can't set it back down. So I leave him be, pat his head a bit. I'm going to walk back up to the barkeep. I can't get him awake.
Before we go and just assume that you successfully did this.
Damn it! I was
let's
hoping
go
to get
ahead.
past that.
Let's go ahead and give me a sleight of hand.
Okay. Let me go. A 14.
Okay, you should have a bonus to it, I'm sure.
She would be a
On your
shitty
character.
rogue if she
Oh
didn't.
no, my connection.
Oh, and she out. Okay.
I
here,
like how we got a.
Oh, no, my connection. That was pretty perfect, actually. Let me see what her. Yeah, it's +3. It's +3. Okay, so she said 14, I believe. Yeah, that's a 17. We'll circumvent the theatrics and we'll say that she is successful in plucking out 2 of the beard hairs without waking up the dwarf. A 17, that's more than enough there. We'll just assume at that point she decides to return, unless when she reconnects decides to do something else. Nigel, we can move on to your segment here. You are heading to the library. You're looking for Stephen. Any tactic of which you're going to accomplish this?
I'm going to meekly, but trying to project my voice to call out, Stephen, Stephen, and I'm going to just walk around at a brisk pace, ask the librarian if they've seen the cat, and same thing if I run into a Stumbledore at all. Stumble mumble, jumble dumble.
Fumble more, McFumble stumble. Okay, sounds good. Let's see if you can. Let's see if this will work this way. Can you give me an investigation roll?
All right. 19.
19. Okay, that's
And,
excellent.
Actually, I've got a plus as well of 5, so 24.
Oh my god, 24. Absolutely. You set out into the library hunting down as if you were looking for a suspect. You're trying to think about all of the times you've encountered Fumble More McStumble Fumble and his sort of mannerisms and what he does. You come across fairly quickly in one of the rows of bookshelves a pair of socks in one of the books.
I'd like to sniff them to see how fresh they are.
Oh.
Oh god.
Not right up to the nose, but
Oh.
like actually more. I want to. Mostly, it's the moistness. You
Oh,
know,
no.
How fresh.
Oh
the,
my god.
An investigator needs to know these things.
No.
Okay. Yeah, they're one could even say they're very dank. they're
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 dank?
they're quite pungent. Freshly peeled from sweaty feet.
Okay,
That's
so
what
I
you
know
would
I know he's about. So I'm going to kind of spiral around from there, and call for him.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, after a few more minutes of searching, kind of canvassing the area, radius of the socks, if you will, you find a sockless Fumblemore McStumble Fumble, looking at one of the books off the shelves. It's upside down, and he's kind of mumbling to himself.
Oh, hello there, Fumbledore. Uh,
Ooh,
how are you doing, mate?
I'm doing very good. I'm looking for my socks, if you must know. But how are you?
I'm doing quite well. I'm looking for Stephen the cat, actually. Have you seen him?
Stephen the cat.
Meow. He makes that noise. Well, actually, very rarely. He normally speaks. Thinks quite highly of himself, looks down on us, hangs around at the library a fair bit.
Oh, Stephen the cat. Yes. Yo, what do you want with him?
I wanted to say hi. We've actually been kicking it off lately, and it's been nice to have some good conversation with him. So I was hoping to speak to him. Have you seen him around today?
Well, yes, I saw him just a few minutes ago. I believe he was perusing the mushroom section of the library.
Oh, well, thank you so much. You know, I believe I actually did see a pair of socks just back over there, just around that shelf and to the left. Perhaps they are.
Were they in the geology section by chance?
I do think so, yes.
Oh,
I
those aren't my socks.
Oh, okay. It's somebody
Thank
else's
you,
handy
though.
bookmark. No worries, Fumbledore. Well, thank you very much. And I'm going to briskly walk off to the mushroom section to try and catch Stephen.
Ta-ta!
See you later.
Okay, yeah, so you head over to the mushroom section of the library, which is just a few rows away. Actually, it's not even very far. And yeah, you see a white cat sitting on like a stool, looking at some of the books. It's Stephen.
Ah, Stephen was white. Okay, cool.
Mhm.
Hello, Stephen.
Hello, Nigel.
I hope I'm not bothering you, but I do have a favor to ask.
Another one.
I'm hoping to visit the wizard's closet again. Is there any chance you know if either you would be able to accompany me, or perhaps do you know if it is possible to gain access with another cat, or only yourself?
Oh, any cat will do, Nigel. But until Carbon, there are only two I know of.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
The dwarves not fond of humanity's favorite domestic friend?
More that we're not fond of the heat.
Ah, fair enough. I can imagine your coat wouldn't be too good. So, I mean, obviously, I already owe you for the last one.
Yes,
Is
you
there
do.
something I could do in return for you if you were to come down and help me gain access one more time? And I'm also wondering, is it possible to visit with my friends? Two of my friends are also interested in purchasing goods.
Hmm. I do believe we could get you access again, provided you meet the requirements as last time. Uh, but admission for multiple patrons of the store, I'm afraid that's just not doable.
Fair enough. Well, I do have my friends still gathering the beard hair and that sort of thing. I'm sure they'd be happy to pass it off to me, and I'll go in alone. Are you open to helping us out?
Oh, I'm always happy to help a friend, Nigel. But I mean, you can see I am quite busy here. I suppose I wouldn't mind garnering another favor from a wizard such as yourself that could find time in my busy schedule to help you.
I'm much obliged. I know you must have a lot of things on your plate, a lot of things to do here. So, are you free now to head on down?
Ah, yes, I suppose so. Carry me.
Yes, of course. I will pick up Stephen and hold him in front of me, and head back down towards the wizard's closet.
All right, sounds good. So you successfully recovered Stephen and were able to garner his help. And yes, I see Mendax is back. Welcome back. Glad that your internet issue was not a permanent one. You were able to successfully pluck the beard hairs from your hapless dwarf victim. And we just kind of said you left him there and left the water next to him and went back over to the wall where the store is located. Unless there's some other way
Exactly
you'd
what I
like
was
to
going
do.
to do. No, that's
Perfect.
perfect. That's exactly what I would have done. I would have left him face down on the table, but with the water. So better than
Very
he
kind
was.
of you. Indeed. Yeah, so you, Pig, were able to so now you owe two favors to this talking cat. And Mendax is able to get the beard hair. You both meet back up in front of the wall where the supposed wizard's closet is located. And you are greeted by Call, who is doing another set of push-ups.
Have you been working out this entire time?
Yes. You said I needed a secret, but I already know one. I didn't need to do anything. So I just worked out.
Damn. I'm gonna glance down with a little bit of listlessness at my own biceps. Well, anyway, Carl, this is Stephen, my friend who's gonna help us gain access to the library. Stephen, this is my comrade, Carl.
Hello.
Meow.
Indeed. So do we have all of the ingredients?
Yes. If you two could just stand over here just for a moment, I'm gonna walk away off just out of hearing and consult with Stephen. So Stephen, the secret, is it possible for my comrades to come forward and offer the secret in the beard hair? I'll be the only one to come into the store, but are they able to be present?
No, I'm afraid not. And whoever utters the secret is the one who gains admission.
Okay. Is it possible for me to send my comrade in my place? He's a little better at bargaining than me.
What? Am I?
I think he walked away. I don't know if you can hear him at this moment.
Yeah,
What?
we're out of earshot.
I can't hear you over there.
Just a moment, Carl.
Perfect. Good recovery. Good recovery. Perfect. Stephen will kind of shrug his cat shoulders. I mean, anyone can really go in so long as they meet the requirements.
Well, fair enough. Well, I appreciate you offering to go in with Carl, my comrade. Is it okay if I let him hold you and carry you forwards?
I suppose.
Thank you, Stephen. All right, I'll
Mhm.
walk back over to the group and Carl. So Stephen has said only one of us can come into the shop at a time, and I think if you'd like, you could go in and have a look, and perhaps you'd be a bit of a fiercer negotiator with this shopkeeper who is most certainly a human man,
What
and
am I-
definitely not three goblins.
What am I negotiating with?
And I'll hand over the purse.
Nigel, yeah, you'll need to give him the gold and the ring.
Yeah, I hand over the purse with here's the silver ring and 200 gold pieces, and you are trying to get the Alleluia Jackson's white shoes back.
The silver
And
ring.
Carl.
What?
Oh, sorry. If you get a good deal, you can spend the rest of the gold on potions.
How much is the silver ring worth?
We're not sure.
I have no
but
idea.
They do love shiny things, so I think it'll definitely go for something. It'll count into the equation.
Very good. Well, I will try my best. I wouldn't say negotiation is my greatest skill, but, I have leverage here with these shinies.
Definite shinies. And, again, if you get a good deal, you can spend some of that gold on potions for you. You should get something for your trouble as well.
That sounds nice. I'm fresh out of gold. I spent the last on a strength potion. Well,
All right, so you'll need to carry Steve, and me and Mendax will need to be down the alley out of earshot and just around the corner, so we'll wait down the alleyway for you two. I'll hand Steven over to Carl.
Yep.
And Mendax, give him the beard hair as well. And
Okay.
yeah.
Hand the beard hair over to Carl.
so I have the gold, I have the cat, and I have the beard hair. Now all I
his
need
name
to do...
He's not just a cat. His name's Steven. Please be respectful. He'll walk you through it just as soon as we're out of here.
Very good. Sorry, Stephen. I'm standing
come
by
on.
the...
Come on, Mendax, let's go. So we'll kind of go down
Okay.
to the end of the alleyway.
Okay. Carl, you're standing there with the cat and beard hair and some gold in front of a wall.
Oh, Stephen. Do I just say the secret now?
No.
Does that mean yes? I don't speak cat. Do you speak common?
He just meows at you. You've never confirmed that Steven could talk. So for all you really know, this is just a cat.
I don't know too much about cats. In any case, I guess I will do the secret. Can you hear me from over there? I'm yelling at Nigel and Mendax.
Yeah, no, I'm assuming their non-response means they cannot.
Yeah, we're around the corner, I guess.
Okay, I have a secret. When I was exiled from my tribe, I didn't show weakness. I showed resolve. And I set forth on my own personal journeys. But there was one night when I was walking through an enchanted grove. And I got very dizzy, and suddenly a hot-off ghost babe appeared. She was beautiful, and also very kind. And the way she looked at me was as if to say, "It's okay, Carl. It's okay if you're sad." And I wept, and I was sad. And I remembered my family and how much I missed them. But most of the time, I'm really tough. This is my secret.
Steven will take the beard hair from your other hand or wherever you have it, and he'll hop out of your hands and he'll kind of slowly saunter over to the wall, and he'll push open like a couple of the stones, kind of rears up and taps a couple of the stones in order, and you see the similarly to other secret doors and entrances to the city that you've been through already, the wall starts to sort of shift and the stones sort of push in until it forms like a pretty perfect rectangle, and the stones slide out of place, and you see just like a veil of darkness. And Stephen the cat goes in.
I will follow.
Okay. You go in, and it's pretty much it's almost like walking through a curtain, pretty much. You walk through, and instantly you're met with a barrage to the senses. All sorts of different smells, lights, colors. There are all manner of trinkets just strewn about in a very cramped, enclosed space. It doesn't seem like you could physically fit more than one person in this store. You're pushed up pretty much right next to a counter, and on the other side there is what just looks like to be a big trench coat with a hat on the top, You can't see past. You can't see a face or anything. But it's kind of, the trench coat is kind of lumpy. There's like, it's poking out in other weird, strange ways. But you see all manner of vial. You see potion. You see different types of dried and looks like bones that are wound together, jars with mysterious looking like eyes and organs and all sorts of just kind of crazy stuff that you have zero idea what it's for. You don't give me a perception check. It's very, very cluttered, there's so much stuff happening here. We'll see what you get here.
8.
8. You don't see the shoes, but that could just mean that you miss them. Behind the counter again, there's just like one sort of thin table that's in the way, with different manner of scraps of paper and wax and candles that are burning. And the figure, what do you want?
Hello, my name is Carl the Kenku, Barbarian. You have a very nice shop here, and I'm shopping for some shoes.
Yes, what kind of shoes? What shoes do you want? And you hear like a voice from down below in the trench coat speaking.
I seek the whitest, finest, cleanest, sharpest shoes that you have.
The shiny shoes. And like a green arm will kind of jut out of the back of the trench coat in one of the ripped open seams and sort of move some stuff off to the side. This is kind of like halfway down the trench coat here. And they like move things to the side, they throw things out, and eventually they grab something which comes into the trench coat, and you see some rustling happening inside, and the shoes come out through the top. It's like a gnarled green hand with like yellowish kind of gray dingy fingernails. And he holds them in front of your face and then drops them on the counter. You buy, yes.
I what?
You buy the shoes, yes?
Of course. That would be stealing.
Yes, no steal shoes.
No purchase.
Yes, purchase good. Purchase great.
How much?
Give me a wisdom save.
9.
Okay. You feel something pass over you for a moment, but it's nothing alarming. Kind of almost like a breeze, in a sense. How much gold do you have?
They gave me 200 and a silver ring, and I had no gold of my own before then.
Okay. Let's see. You hear some kind of talking from 3 different voices inside of the trench coat as they kind of bicker. The top of the trench coat kind of folds over as if, it's kind of whatever is there is leaning over maybe. And they kind of straighten back up. The certainly human shopkeeper straightens back up. 300 gold seems fair.
300 gold. That's a lot of gold.
Yes. Very shiny shoes. Very white shoes. Perfect magic shoes, even.
What if we did a rush sale deal and you sold them for 150 gold?
No, 150 no good. Too cheap. These are precious shoes. These are rare, exclusive.
You're right.
You find these nowhere.
You're right. These are excellent shoes. It would be too cheap to sell them for 150 gold. I agree. You have a great shop here. And these are very bright and lustrous shoes. It's asking a lot. However, I'm willing to offer you 175 gold for these shoes.
Give me a persuasion check.
Natural 20.
Okay. And you have a what's your bonus?
Bonus would be
if there is one.
+1, so 21.
Okay, that's good. They kind of have a conference again, bickering voices going back and forth. They straighten back up. We like you, bud. Yes, you don't see many of your kind here. We give you good deal. 200 gold.
200 gold.
Yours. Yes, 200, 100 off. This is very good human bargain for humans like you and I.
I do like a good human bargain. What if you threw in a potion?
Potion. It's too much bargain. Need extra for potion. You have shinies?
Let me
Things to
think.
trade?
Let me
Things to
think.
sell?
What about... I'll get the silver ring. This!
You procure the ring in such a way that a dazzling kind of blaze of light shines off of it from one of the many lights around. Oh, we see. Give. And like 6 hands come out of the trench coat.
This is
Trying to
no
grab
ordinary
for it.
ring. This is especially shiny. You should be cautious. Many minds have been corrupted. It is too beautiful a ring. Be careful, and I will place the ring.
Which hands do you pick? The top, the middle, or the bottom?
The middle.
Okay, the middle hands, the bottom hands try to slap the top hand or the middle hands away, and the top hands quickly dart down and grab the ring from the middle, and they all come back in. And there's a kind of visible tussle going on from within. It's almost like you threw a blanket over 3 kids that are fighting. And after a few moments and a couple of yells, they'll put the ring on the table. Yes, this ring. We can see the quality is of this rare. This is good. What potion do you want?
Do you have anything related to speed or to strength?
Speed or strength?
Or
One or the other?
speed.
Speed, yes. And the kind of trench coat will shuffle to the left. It won't turn. It just kind of shuffles to the left. And it goes to another kind of small corner over here. And hands, once again, will come out of the coat and they'll kind of move things around. They're throwing just random things kind of in the air. Different sort of parchments, a couple of glass bottles with you have no clue really what's in it, but break on the ground. It's a very chaotic experience. It's still a little unnerving at times, even. But finally, they'll the hands will stop kind of reaching out for things. Oh, yeah, we've got it here. Yes, speed. And they'll shuffle back to the right, and they'll plop down on the counter. It's like a flask almost. It's like it's not like a small vial or anything. So it's a pretty hefty sized flask, and it's of this really cloudy yellow liquid.
Ooh.
Almost like rotten milk is what it looks like really rotten milk. It has like a cord that's tied around the top and a cork that's in it with a seal of wax. And there's a skull and crossbones on the top of the wax. Now this will make you fast. This will give you speed.
Does it have nutrition facts?
Is that human joke? Nutrition facts, of course.
Oh, it just looked questionable to me. However, I have learned that many potions are very gross, and by being gross, that makes them effective.
Yes, this potion is especially disgusting.
Well, seeing as how you are a very reputable shopkeep, who is the most human of all. I would like to call it a deal. 200 gold and the silver ring for the shoes and the speed potion.
A deal it is. Yes, a good deal has been struck. And you'll hear 3 kind of simultaneous, and then 3 hands come out of the trench coat. Human shake on deal. And they'll each kind of take turns grabbing your hand. You feel like the kind of scratchy, oily skin mixed with a very viscous snot mucus, as now your hand feathers are essentially kind of matted down. Good, yes, deal. Buy anything else? We have many for sale.
You took all my money. I have nothing else to offer you.
Okay, leave then.
That's usually not how you say goodbye. Normally
Goodbye!
you say, thank you for your business, and we will see you again soon.
Thank you for your money. Come back when you have more.
It was nice meeting you, I guess. Stephen! Where's the cat?
He's just sitting on the shoes.
Oh. Then I will take the shoes and the cat, and I will find my way out, I guess? Is there an exit?
It's you're like right in front of it.
Oh.
You traveled almost no distance.
I feel like I just don't know what's in front of me. Yes, then I would like to exit the shop.
It's a perfectly good human shopkeeper.
Oh, yes.
What do you mean? Yeah, you have the shoes, you have the quote unquote speed potion, and the cat, and you walk out of the wizard's closet, and behind you the stones kind of slide back into place, and the reverse kind of push back in until they form a seamless wall.
Nigel, Mendax! What did they run
It's
off
the
to?
signal.
I hear the Kinku call. It must be done. I jog back down the alleyway with Mendax.
Yeah, just run down.
Yeah, he's standing there, cat shoes and a weird vial of yellow liquid in the other hand.
I purchased their finest shoes. Are these the ones you wanted?
Those are the ones.
I
The
think
shiniest,
I-
whitest shoes.
I mean,
alive.
I wouldn't have paid that close of attention.
I was a little bit worried about that. Thank goodness they are the shoes.
Just sell him some like gray tattered pair of shoes and for 200 gold. No, yeah, they are in fact the same shoes that you stole off
I was
of
afraid
Aurelia
it
Jackson.
might just be a different pair of white shoes.
Nope, they are the aforementioned shoes. Steven will jump off of your hand and start walking away.
Thank you for your assistance. Nice, Stephen.
Mel.
Thank you, Stephen. I owe you one.
He'll kind of turn back and look at you, Nigel, and give you a
And-
wink.
Another one. I owe you two.
Yeah, he's happy to just basically walk away.
All right. How much did it cost, Carl?
All
What
of
sort
it.
of deal did you get?
Well, they initially said 300 gold for the shoes, in which case I utilized my Kenku persuasion tactics against them and created a narrative where this gold and these shoes were just, and it worked for the most part. It was 200 gold for the shoes, and then there was also a potion of God knows what that's here that I got with the silver ring.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like ogre piss, to be fair. You sure that's safe to drink?
Well, I asked them and they didn't give a very good answer, so no, I'm not sure.
To be fair, the potion they gave me, I was having second thoughts after I bought it as well, but it turned out to be of exceptional quality, though it was rather disgusting to the palate.
Yeah, you guys feel a very pungent, disgusting odor coming from Call from the goblin snot and mucus that's basically worked into his feathers. So might need to take a bird bath before setting off.
We definitely should get Goop. Oh my god. That was a setup.
Bazing! Bazoom!
The best kind of dog. Get that goblin snot out of those feathers. Ah.
It's a filthy shop in there. There were broken glass all over the floor. Their hands were nasty. But the mission was accomplished. You didn't hear my
Well done.
secret, did you?
No.
Okay.
Though I would like to think that hopefully, we feel close enough as a party to share secrets with each other when we need support.
What was your secret?
Oh, it was. Don't know if I really want to go into too much detail now. But I may have involved a hot elf ghost babe. But
My secret was about a hot elf ghost babe too.
Really?
Yes.
Oh. I feel like we're more and more like brothers every day, Carl.
Let's do a fist bump. Fist bump.
Oh my god. Apparently hot elf ghost babes will just show themselves to anyone.
What, you haven't seen one?
I think Mendax mentioned she was having some internet issues still. Where do you guys want to head off to now that you've recovered the shoes? What's the plan? What's the play?
Goop. Goop.
Yeah, let's go find
Okay.
Goop.
Got it. Sounds good. We'll get Goop, and then maybe we'll take a quick 5-minute break or so Mendax can restart the internet for her house again. Yeah, you guys head over. Nigel, do you put on the aforementioned shoes?
I'm pretty sure I'm leaving them with Mendax at this point, since I feel bad about getting rid of them before, and they're clearly very valuable to her. So, it would be a little bit like if, my best friend just bought a $100,000 car, and I was like, cool, I can just drive this now. It's a bit awkward. I'm kind of like, no, I'm not going to take any super valuable shoes off her, since I've already soiled multiple pairs of pants and shoes and got them lost in all sorts of things at this point. So I'm barefoot at the moment, I believe.
I think you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe you are. So okay, we'll just continue with that then for now. So Mendax has the Alleluia Jackson shoes. Very, very important to keep an eye on who has those. Yeah, you guys head over to, we'll call them the Golem Smiths. The ones that King Stumpy left the officer rather left your Golem Goop with. Yeah, you head in there. You have the control orb, which is essentially like the receipt for the golem, essentially. And you head up to like the front area where they kind of have their records being kept. Oh, Nigel, here for Goop, yes.
Yes. Have you been able to fix
One.
him?
Oh, well, we did a tune-up here and there. Yeah, we'll retrieve him. One moment. And he'll the dwarf at the front will head into the back, and he'll come back out to the front a few minute or two later. And he has Goop in hand. He is much nicer looking. The cracked orb that was his essentially eye that mirrored the other one that you have is pretty polished and perfect. There's no cracks that are in it anymore. They put on another arm for him. So there is now both arms, and there is he kind of goes through the mechanisms on the golem, opens up again, that chest cavity where the records were being kept. Which is how Goop essentially casts those spells. And that has been cleaned up. That has been sort of fixed, repaired. It's only those two kind of records in there, if you will. But those are on sort of that spindle, almost like that spice rack kind of contraption. He closes that back up. He pops open the top of the golem's head, again, just by kind of like, it almost looks like pressing a button, but there's nothing there to press. It's almost like you just have to know where to essentially try to open from. And he shows the kind of the inside of the top of his head where there was, you looked at it before, it was sort of that like record player almost inside that had like the like spindles that were coming out that would hit the notes on the record that's inside. It's all very nice shape, all very well kept. As Goop is placed in front of you, you feel sort of that like familiar hum from the control orb that's in your robe. But currently Goop is deactive. He's not activated at the moment.
And tell me, do you know how we can get more of these spells created or made?
I'm not overly familiar with this exact type of golem. Looks to be some sophisticated magic that went into this, actually. From what I can tell, these records are, well, I mean, they look like regular music players. You know, there are several of those enchanted jukeboxes. I'm not sure if you've encountered those crazy contraptions. I would assume anything around there, you know, however they make those, we don't really craft any of those here. You could find some musicians somewhere that might specialize. Some wizardry has to go into it as well, I'm sure. But it's a craft I'm not very familiar with myself.
Fascinating. Do you know where those jukeboxes you speak of are manufactured?
You know, they're quite popular in those big human cities to the west.
Something I'll have to keep in mind. So, so he's fixed up. So the orb is no longer cracked. He's got a new arm now, so he's no longer one-armed Goop. And okay, fantastic. So you're not so familiar with him, but to be honest, it's really something none of us have any experience with using golems, and we've kind of just tagged him along. And he even at one point, when one of us was in trouble, he managed to actually save the life of Mendax here and heal her from a very dire situation. Do you have any idea how we can command him? I understand it's somehow tied to this control orb, but I don't truly understand the mechanics of how to give orders or to. I mean, he naturally just follows us, but how to command when he can use these abilities.
Yeah, and so when you kind of grab the control orb, you'll feel once again that magic essence being sort of forcefully drained from your mind, essentially, in a way that was very, very reminiscent of when you entered the spider cave. So you kind of piece together that it seems like to activate Goop will require some amount of magic. At this point, you kind of catch on to what's happening midway, and this feels to you similar to casting a spell. You know that you can exert different amounts of magical energy and potential depending on the types of spells. Some spells you can't, some spells you can. You can expend more or less energy if you choose. Do you want to expend more, or would you like to expend just a bit? Essentially, do you want to use up a level 2 or a level 1 spell slot?
Yeah, we'll try level 2.
Sure. So instead of resisting the magical drain, you instead feed into it, and you kind of put more power into this orb. We'll say you do lose one of your level 2 spells for the day. So you can go ahead and just mark that off. But Goop activates. He is a much more animated isn't necessarily the right word, but before it was very systematic. Move forward, move left, move right. never move your arms unless you need to. This looks a lot more fluid. This the energy and the sort of characteristics of goop seem a lot more lifelike in a way, more animated, I suppose I could say. And it's more like looking at a creature that has some amount of intelligence to it. It's looking around. It's not just staring at you or following the orb. It's looking at the other people that are in the room. It's kind of taking actions on its own without you having to specifically move somewhere or do something. The dwarf at the counter kind of looks over. He's not surprised by essentially any of this. And he kind of just picks up goop, kind of looks at a couple things. He tweaks a couple of the spots on his arm that needs to be fixed a little bit. It's hard to get exactly the right measurements and calculations when it's inanimate. He puts it back down and he responds to your question. He says, "Well, all golems are designed by whoever made them, right? They make them however they want the golem to respond. Some they don't take actions; they're just set to do something. And that's it. That's what they do. Some have a huge amount of intelligence and autonomy to them. Others do take verbal commands. Others communicate via the mind or a control orb, similar to what you have. It looks like so long as you have the magical potential." And you have the prerequisite orb, I would imagine in other types of golems that use this similar control mechanism, you can issue these commands via thought. That might not work. Did you not get this from someone? Usually they come with like an instruction manual.
Yes, we recovered him. He was in grave disrepair, deep in the lair of some monsters, actually. It was clearly left from hundreds of years ago. We had to kind of excavate him out and right him. So really no user manual included. And we're just figuring it out as we go. But already I can see I've just poured a bit more energy into him than I have before. And he already seems like he's operating on a higher function. I mean, look at that. It's Goop. Walk over to Carl.
Yeah, he'll do that. He's on the counter now. He sort of hops off and walks over to Call and looks up at him and
hello, nice
looks
group.
around. He'll wave back at you.
All right. Well, I think it's a bit more self-explanatory now that we can communicate openly. Good job, Goop. Welcome to the next level of function, I guess. Who knows? Perhaps if I can gather some more power, I can put some more energy into him and bring him to another level. Goop, is there any way you can tell us what abilities you have other than the healing that you used on Mendax last time? And Golem Smith as well. Were you able any way to read those records inside, or is it all gibberish to you?
It's music. It just sounds like a tune. If you were to play this in one of those jukeboxes, I doubt it would do anything. There's a level of magic to this golem that I've not seen in a while. We're familiar with a lot of different golem magics. They can be, in some cases, built to assist or upkeep magical spells. But as far as being able to choose and cast them, that's not something I've seen before. That's actually a bit out of my league, which is saying something.
That makes perfect sense. And there was 2 records inside Goop, right?
Yeah. You
Okay.
recognize the one that he used to heal.
Okay. So I was worried previously that he might have limited uses of these magics, but it seems more like it's a sort of a template that he can reuse over and over again. And it's just about me pouring the energy in to activate him. And I imagine he might recharge overnight. I'm not sure if I'll have to put more energy into him each day. We'll have to see. But as it is, hey, he looks a lot more agile. He should be able to keep up if we're ever in a hurry. And we should be able to give him some other orders. Carl, Mendax, hold on one moment. Goop, make sure you listen to any orders from Mendax or Carl. They are your masters as well now. try giving him a command, guys.
Goop, clap your hands 3 times.
He does not.
Goop, do what Carl just told you to.
Okay, I'll clap his hands 3 times.
Okay. Well, it seems whoever has the orb does have control. I thought I might be able to kind of dictate and just extend it so that he is loyal to all of us, but as it is, he's going to follow whoever has the orb and only follow their commands.
Well, I'm excited to embark on a journey with an improved Goop. He's also fixed up, too. Thank you, Golem
Looks much
Smiths, for your
shinier.
fine work.
No problem. Happy to help the saviors of Tolkarbad. If you need anything else or the little one needs any more repairs, please feel free to come back.
It's a good city with even better people, and well worth saving.
They'll just kind of do a deep bow in appreciation. Yeah, so you have Goop in hand. Definitely a bit more to explore with that golem. Is some more utility there now that he's fixed up and you're kind of understanding a little bit more how he works. I do think Mendax or Ash is still having some internet issues, so we'll go ahead. We'll take our break here, 5 maybe 10 minutes if the internet's not still giving some problems. So bear with us, everybody. Appreciate everybody for hanging out, and we'll be back in just a bit.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 14 of Wayfarers. We are in Tolkarbad and we just picked up Goop, who is new and improved. Level 2.
Or something
Level
like that.
2. Is his name Toot
Yes.
now?
It's whatever you guys want to name him. Somehow you landed on Goop, and it ceased to amaze me. That's what this golem's name. I like it.
I believe
Very
that was
endearing.
Mendax's idea. Or mine. That was my idea?
I think it was your idea. Yeah.
100%
Don't put this
Carl.
one on Mendax. Yeah, this was a call decision.
Mendax has done a lot of things, but naming Goop is not one of them.
It is true. Okay. You guys got the shoes. You've got a mysterious quote-unquote speed potion. You have got your golem companion. The Wayfarers are reassembled and have got their wardrobe outfitted properly. What's the next move?
Should we say goodbye to Stumpy? We'll see if the dwarves can't, I don't know, furnish us with some food and such for the journey.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. I have been meaning to ask you as well, I guess, about where all that gold came from. It really does seem like there was quite a couple of good nights on the dice if you seem to not mind parting with 200 gold. So I'm
Well-
completely destitute right now, but I am curious how you came about such wealth.
First of all, I never said I played dice. Second of all, I've also never been very good with money, and you know this. So tossing around 200 gold doesn't mean a whole lot. If I have it, I'm probably going to spend it. Or I'm probably going to have to pay it for a fine.
Fair call. Well, we do need to head on our way. I guess we've got to ask about ships. I'll keep asking out about magicians and wizards. There's none in this part, in this city. And indeed, I mean, I guess we should ask about nearby areas where we could maybe find in this corner of the world someone with kind of magic. I think teleporting is probably our best bet. I mean, a caravan's an option, but that's still going to take a long time to get overland. So maybe you, of course, Mendax mentioned the ships along the southern coast are very dangerous, that you'd heard that in your travels. I mean, we are right on the kind of towards the south eastern tip. of the continent. You know, perhaps we could get a boat to Iliaris or something like that. I'm not sure. What do you think our priorities should be, Carl?
Well, you wanted to go to the place where your master is, right?
Indeed.
And we're trying to find the quickest route. Are there no wizards in this town who you could ask for directions?
There is one who you can find in the library. I'm not sure he has the requisite power, to be honest.
But he might know someone who does.
I suppose it's worth a try. About time I introduced you to my own little world. You've both met Steven now. Might as well go and introduce you to McStumblefumble.
Okay, so you guys are going to head to the library, is that right?
Works for me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, you guys head over there. It's not too far of a distance. It is the first time Call and Mendax you guys have set foot in this library here. It's really large. It's kind of staggering how many books are in this library. Mendax, you've only seen a library that would maybe rival this in one of the other great cities of the country, I guess you could say. But most towns have next to nothing in terms of written literature or even stockpiles of them like a library. Call, I don't think you've ever seen this many books in your life in one place. Yeah, so it is actually pretty breathtaking, pretty incredible. The organization in here seems pretty extreme. How would you like to try to go about finding Bumblemore McFumblestumble?
So guys, keep an eye out for any socks left marking the books. When you see this wizard, you'll recognize him. He's rather an odd character. And we'll ask the librarian first of all if she's seen Fumbledore, and then we'll start the sock trail if he is not around.
All right, Carol is at the front.
Hello, Carol.
Ew.
Have you seen
Hello,
Fumbledore?
Nigel.
Is he in today?
Bumblemore?
Yes, Fumbledore.
Yes, he did find his way in earlier today. Weren't you just in? Didn't you just talk to him?
Oh, yes, a few hours back, but I've been around the city a little, and I wasn't sure if he's still here.
Well, I didn't see him leave.
All right,
But
fantastic.
Best of luck.
No worries. We'll take a look. All right. Best for us to just wander through. Might as well stick together. It's a huge library. You two could get lost. So follow along. Keep your eyes peeled for any stray socks sticking out of any interesting books, and we'll wander and kind of start to circle our way through, see if we can find him.
Yeah. Again, the library, as you guys start to move through it is once again kind of imparting on the vastness, and you're looking kind of just cursory at the books that you're passing by. You've never even heard of half of these topics before. Some of them having to deal with just seemingly the most oddball, why would anyone ever write a book about the different types of mosses that can grow in a specific region of the world. It just seems like some of the most dry material you've ever seen. Each of you roll me an investigation. Let's see if you're able to pick up the trail of the elusive Bumblemore.
13.
Okay.
It's an investigation, right?
Mm-hmm.
24 for me again.
Whoa.
Oh, nice.
And I've got 18 plus 5, so I've got a 23.
Whoa.
Yeah, you I would say both Nigel and Mendax, you pick up on, I would say, the scent of Bumblemore faster than any sort of physical trail left behind, and you follow your noses for a few minutes before locating him in the different types of cheeses section. And he's got a book in each hand, and he's kind of flipping back and forth between them quickly.
Oh my. Ah, the greatest wizard I've met in all of Tol Karabad, and apparently capable of even reading 2 books at once. Impressive. How are you?
Ah, hello, Nigel. Good to meet you again. A doozy. Well done, Momo. Well done.
You too. Well, of course, these are my friends I wanted to introduce you to. It's my good friend Kaal of the Kenku and Mendax, my comrades in my journeys, and they are great warriors. They've been looking forward to meeting you.
Honored,
Oh,
good
yeah.
wizard.
Hello there, Call of the Kenku people and Mendax. More wizards I take, or you
Not-
versed in the ways of magic?
No.
Not
Not
quite.
so much.
Usually I hit something with a large object.
Yeah, a practitioner of the direct arts, we'll call it. Fancy
And I'm a
yourself some
former
cheese?
stage actress.
You have cheese?
Well, in the cheese section, I assumed you just happened to fancy yourself a good. If I may recommend fromage in all the ways to eat them, by Francis Diggory.
Hmm.
Hmm.
There are
I will
different
have to
ways
get
of
on that.
eating cheese.
Oh, well, how do you eat them? I assume you fork, put it in your mouth. How silly! No, I simply insist you must read this book, Cole. It's quite a life changer, and he'll pull it off the shelf and hand it to you.
Oh, thank you. I will skim through it as they are talking.
Yeah, you skim through. It's all sorts of absolutely bizarre methods of heating up rocks, melting cheese over like a rock to form a dome, and then like letting it sit out in the moonlight for a certain number of days. And it's like, what? Okay.
Well, as one wizard to another, I was actually hoping to come to you seeking advice. We've found out that we have a quest that takes us all the way to my own home, the Lonely Spire, where I grew up underneath the great master wizard Nivix. But it is a
Oh.
very, very long way away, and we have a long journey ahead of us. Have you heard of the Lonely Spire?
Well, of course I have. The Lonely Spire is quite a popular location. I don't know a single wizard who wouldn't be aware of such a grand place. I had no clue that you were associated with the Master Nivix. Send him my regards.
I'll be sure to. You know, he took me under his wing when I was just a young orphan and taught me everything that I know. I owe my life to him. It's good to know that you are a comrade of his. So we are currently looking at walking there, and it's going to take us almost a year. And we've decided that is just too long. We need to see my master as quickly as possible. We're wondering if there are any other wizards about, or covens of witches, perhaps, any sort of mages guilds where there is either a functioning teleportation device or a group of wizards powerful enough to potentially teleport us to the other side of the continent.
Teleportation magics. Quite strong spells you're looking for, Nigel. Not for the faint of heart. I, of
Yeah.
course, have dabbled with my own formulas and crafts of the such, but it's been a number of years. I am afraid I simply am too busy to try to dig up those old documents. However, I have heard of a certain relic the dwarves possess, in fact, that, legend be told, has the ability to travel great distances. Exactly the properties of this I am not quite sure, but certainly heroes and champions such as yourself may be able to garner favor with the appropriate dwarves and find out more.
That does sound like an interesting lead. Can you tell us more?
Not really. I don't know much more.
Do you know what it's called?
Um, uh, of course I know what it's called. a key of teleportation.
Ah, that sounds very promising. I'm
Yes.
especially after it was you who, of course, turned me on to the wizard's closet. Very thankful for that tip, by the way, and I do appreciate it.
I'll keep it
I
a secret.
you said you do have scrolls on teleportation or and notes on your own delvings into it. I mean, this is something that is far beyond my scope as a wizard and a purveyor of magic. Is it something? Do you know? Have you ever actually succeeded in a teleportation spell?
Well, I fancy myself a hobbyist of the schools of magic, of course. I have dabbled in teleportation back in my my formative years, back in the days of the academy. I did manage to teleport a rat once, quite a great distance, 5 feet, if I recall.
Well, vastly further than I've done. I've never even attempted it. I know it's beyond my abilities for now, at least. But are you sure there's absolutely nothing about this dwarven artifact, this key of teleportation, you can remember other than that it exists? Do you know if it is situated here in Tol Karabad?
Well, this is the mighty Dwarven Kingdom, after all. They have many of their artifacts and relics, many of which are multitudes more powerful than that one, locked away in some hidden trove, some, I don't know.
Hmm. All right. Well, it's definitely better than nothing. If that doesn't turn out, where do you think is the closest center of civilization where we could find a group of wizards who might be able to help us further?
Um, to that, he will, what would he say to you guys? Let me think a second here.
We were thinking of getting a boat to Illyrisp as one option, and I'm not sure though. I don't know much about the city.
The city of the elves. They certainly have powerful wizards, mages, witches, warlocks in their kind. They're quite versed with magic. That's not a bad idea. You may be able to find someone there.
Well, thank you very much for sharing your knowledge, and I do hope these books don't put too many wild ideas in Carl's head. I'm not sure if his body really responds to large quantities of cheese and dairy so well.
You guys want to go cheese tasting? I'm feeling a bit peckish.
Will there be wine?
I don't know. This book is only about cheese. It does say that... Wait. Oh, there is a wine compliment section. Forgive me.
Count me in.
Well, yes, always about expanding our boundaries and our taste buds. Perhaps we should go and speak to the captain and see if he's heard about this artifact of teleportation.
Works for me.
Sure.
All
Stumpy
right.
might know as well.
It's a good point.
It'd be hard to get an audience with Stumpy again on such short notice, though.
Would it, though?
But,
For the heroes of Tol Caravan?
Perhaps not. Lead on, Carl. If we want to go, maybe we can try to see Stumpy first, and failing that, we'll go talk to the captain.
Plan A, Plan B. Sounds good. Let's go.
Ta-ta! Have a good one. Take care.
Bumble
Bye,
Mormix,
Bumble.
Stumble Fumble. It was great to meet you.
Yes, and you as well. Very dignified fellow.
You seem like a great wizard.
I am. Yes. And he'll go cross-eyed and try to read both of the books at the same time.
Be nice now.
He's focused on his task at hand. So you guys are going to go and meet up with Stumpy, is that right?
Well, yeah.
All
We
right,
have our
deal.
own mixed stumble fumble now. This is the greatest group ever.
No, he has heard him, so he does have his voice in some way in his lexicon, if you will. Okay, you guys leave the library with a new lead of information and head over to the sort of Capitol building, the throne room, if you will. By this point, it is sort of getting on to the afternoon. You guys have done quite a bit actually during the day. So the palace room, we'll say, where the throne is still hustling and bustling with all sorts of different dwarves, humans, gnomes. Same kind of clamor, same kind of panic rush around everything. People are running different numbers, writing a lot of different things down, rushing notes over to which way of the room. Stumpy is entertaining an audience of a few people. There are a few other people waiting for him, the same guards at his sides, making sure that none get access to him without their approval.
Hello, good people of Tol Karaban. We seek audience with the king.
It is a cacophony of noise in the throne room. Everyone is pretty preoccupied and busy with what they're doing. A couple of people look up and like nod at you and then kind of go back to what they're doing. You don't think people are being rude. You think that they're just all like, we're fucking very busy.
Well, maybe we should just approach the throne.
Yeah, could try.
Sure.
Okay, you guys head up to the throne. Anybody leading the charge?
I would like to lead, as I visited Stumpy before, so I would be most familiar.
Okay, sounds good. You get up to the steps that lead up to his throne, and two guards, kind of, again, in that sort of black-clad armor, very sort of imposing figures, once again, stop you. What is your business with the king?
We wish to ask him a question. We are seeking wizards for a purpose of travel, and we were wondering if Stumpy had any knowledge of this, seeing as how he's the king.
They'll come back to you with he's quite busy right now. Is it something that can wait, or is this?
I mean, we could wait a few moments, but we would
Probably best tomorrow.
Tomorrow. We are
Or the next day.
Yes, but we are the heroes of Tol Karaban, who risked our life and limb to save it. And it wouldn't take too long, I trust.
We'd need but at most 5 minutes of his time.
They'll sort of eye all of you over. You get the sense that it's not that they don't like you, and they respect that you're the heroes that saved the city. It's just they take their job super seriously. They'll kind of look at each other. Wait here, and one of them will kind of go back and talk with one of the guards, actually the same guard that led you to the barracks call. That guard will look over from what he's doing, kind of give you just a slight nod and talk to the guard. He'll come back down after a few moments. When he's finished talking, 5 minutes. That will work?
Yes, thank you.
Excellent. Weapons on the table, please.
I will place my weapons on the table.
Okay. Do you try to hide any? Or are you putting all of them there?
All my weapons.
Okay.
Yeah.
Putting all of mine on as well, not trying to hide a single thing.
Okay, sounds good. They'll look at Goop and they'll say, can that stay here as well?
Goop, stay.
And he'll kind of just bumble around and rock back and forth in the place where he's at.
Thank you, Goop.
Okay. Yeah, the king talks to several more kind of constituents, if you will, various worried-looking faces that walk up to him in a frantic haze with different papers and quills for him to sign, all manner of different sort of parchment. Then after maybe about 10 minutes or so, the guard will kind of motion you to come forth over to the king, as he's finishing up with another one of the just kind of random accountants, if you will. You guys can approach him. When you do, Stumpy he's not quite finished signing whatever he's looking at, and he'll say, "Oh, for the Lord, can it wait, please? I need a minute to breathe."
Hello, good King Stumpy. It is good to see you again.
And he'll look up from his paperwork and kind of be a little surprised. Nigel, Mendax, and Cole. Huh. Those are some faces for sore eyes. Come. And he'll motion you closer to the throne. He'll give each of you a hug if you let him, which will crack your backs, as with every time he's ever hugged you.
You're a strong king, and we came to you seeking knowledge.
Oh,
We need,
right.
we need to travel very far. Farther than we would care to walk, or to ride in a caravan. Nigel, our wise wizard, suggested there may be some way to teleport from a place to another, and mentioned an elven city full of wizards. Do you know of this?
The elves are quite versed in the ways of sorcery and magic, beyond my knowledge, really. You say, what are you trying to do? You're trying to walk very far? What's happening?
Well, we have found out some urgent news, and we need to make it across the continent, the other side of the known world, as quickly as possible. We're exploring ways of teleporting across, since it will take us a vast amount of time to cross on land or by sea. It's very dangerous either way. We heard tell there is, I'm not sure if it's a myth or a legend or if there's any reality, that there may be some artifact here in the city called the Key of Teleportation.
What? Get over here. Who told you about this?
It was the wizard in the library. He mentioned it. He was a little bit cagey about it, but he's a trusted consort. I hope this isn't a secret.
I don't know how he found out, but that's private information. It's not everywhere that has a blasted key of teleportation. Don't just go around telling people. It's serious magic. Nigel, you know how hard it is to teleport places.
Apologies. From the way he mentioned it, it sounded more like a myth than anything. It was really, I wasn't really expecting it to necessarily be real. But
Yes, it's real, but it's a bit of a pain point, if you must know.
Are you
why is
okay?
that?
Well, if you must know, I kind of lost it.
How?
I don't remember. Okay, I had it on my bedside one day. It's a handy thing, and I came back and it was gone. Okay. And he'll motion you to come even closer. I think someone stole it, or there could be someone may have infiltrated the city and taken it. I really shouldn't have had it. I'm gonna be very honest. That's my bad. But I have a feeling it was quite possibly the orcs that are in the area.
The orcs took your key.
I don't know, okay? Like, I'm not positive, but they've been at war with us for fucking God knows how long. And they have been successful every now and again in infiltrating with a small band of, thieves or raiders. It's not very often, mind you, and normally we catch them and kill them. But I'm worried that maybe they took it.
Jeez. Well, this is something. Did this happen recently? How long ago did it go missing?
Kind of around the time the plague started. Now that you mention it.
Ah. Do you think it's related?
I wouldn't put it past them. They don't like us very much, and to be fair, we don't really like them. Tell you what, you go and get that key. I'll let you use it, and we don't have to tell anybody about it, eh?
How would we know where to get it if you lost it and don't know where it is?
Well, I mean, if they are the ones who took it, and I feel pretty confident. I've got a good gut feeling, and my gut's not often wrong. They have a holdout in one of the kind of lava areas. They have their own city, if you will, kind of a structure. It's hard to know what to call that fucking thing.
A castle?
Yeah, sure.
Oh. So what you're saying is if we go over to this castle, then we can tell the orcs to give it back.
Yeah, you can tell the orcs to give it back. That's good. That's good call.
What is this?
I mean, they're pretty evil. They'll kill pretty much anybody who comes up or around that castle. That you're gonna because I'm worried you don't understand this kind of situation here.
Oh,
you will have to go there and then.
I understand.
Yeah,
so we
okay.
go to the castle, and when we go to the guards, we use the orc signal, give us the key back, and that's when they'll know to give it back.
Listen. Get the key. Bring it back.
Using the secret
However
signal.
you do it, however you want to do it. Listen, if you can convince them, great. But I don't think you're going to do it like that way.
Did I do it wrong? It's this?
No, okay, Nigel, I'm going to talk to you. Do you understand what I'm trying to say here? I don't want to send you all on like a death trip. I want you to live. I like you guys.
Well, Carl is the type to shout into the face of a hurricane while standing on a mountaintop rather than seeking shelter. So we balance each other out a little bit. He has no fear, and well, I make up for it with a double serving. So I'll lend him a little bit of my caution. But what does it look like, this key?
Yeah, to be honest, it just looks like a copper key. Kind of hidden in plain sight, if you will. It's nothing very special. I found most powerful artifacts look like just unassuming pieces of whatever.
All right. And can you show us on our map where this orc fortress is?
Yeah, I can show you for sure. And he'll if you have like a basic crude map of the of kind of either the country or the kingdom itself, he'll point out it's several, I would say, probably a few days of travel away, and you will have to go by like that lava boat system, but you could make it there. It'll take you a few days though. Of course, I could provide you with a boat to get there, and oars more suitable for the strength of, well, I mean, you're very strong, don't get me wrong, but your strengths. And then if you go there, you get the key and bash a few faces on the way, bring it back to me. Whole thing water under the bridge. No one has to know I took a magical artifact out of the vault, and you guys can get to your wherever the hell you're going.
Give us the key.
Yes, you've got it.
About how many orcs would you guesstimate are in the Castle Hill Fort thingy?
Well, if they're going on a raid at the moment, and they often go on raids, to be fair, I don't know, less than 100 probably.
Oh, good, just less than 100. Excellent.
And when they're not raiding,
More than 100.
you don't say.
Yeah, I would just hope they're going to be on a raid. That's what I would hope for.
I guess
Are
we'll
you
have to
saying
cross
they're
our fingers.
hostile to us?
Hey, Cole,
What?
what the hell, man? We're whispering here. Okay, this is like not.
Are you saying they're hostile?
Yes, they're hostile. Yes, they're very hostile.
This is a combat mission.
This is yes.
I
Cole,
thought
this is a
we
combat
were being
mission.
sent to use a secret
No.
password.
No, there's no secret
Oh.
password. No.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand. So I'm going
Yes.
to we're going to fight them. Okay, I understand. Okay.
Yes.
Yes, I think the password is your rather mighty scythe-like blade, Carl.
I get it now. I get it. I was confused. I've never seen someone do this. I thought it was a password.
So how's that sound? Good then? Yes, we're all in agreement. That sounds great.
Shh. Yes.
Yes.
We're on the
Don't
case.
tell anybody.
I didn't tell anyone.
Okay, good. I mean, I know you've been here the whole time, but I mean, later on, don't tell anyone. Like, continue not saying anything. That is not us for.
I will take a vow of silence.
You don't have to go that far, but okay. That's fine. That's good.
I'll just use the signal. Okay.
Yeah, all right. There's no... Okay, perfect. Tell you what. If you're good to go, unless there's something you need, midnight tonight, meet me out by the, the entrance of the city. I'll get you all squared away.
Wait, one more thing.
Oh, God. Okay, yes,
Could I get a fist bump?
of course. And he'll punch your hand really hard.
Ouch! Thank you, Stumpy.
You're welcome. Thank you. All right, then. Yes, great to see you. I hope you have a fantastic trip, wherever it is that you're going. I don't know. Yep, goodbye.
Goodbye.
God. And he'll kind of wave at you, and the guards will come back up. They'll take you over to your weapons and artifacts and all goop, and you're free to retrieve them. More worried people with papers walk up to Stumpy and ask him for his signature and are freaking out about something.
All right, I'll lead us off to a bit, just out of earshot, a bit of a quiet part of the hall of the corridor. So, I mean, Stumpy seems like a straightforward, to the point sort of king. He's honest. He gets to the point, but he might not be the most complicated of folk. And I'm not, from what he's told us, there seems to be almost nothing directly linking the orcs to him losing this key. And I mean, it's a lead, but isn't it possible that simply one of the maids stole it, or it went missing somehow?
I mean, it's definitely possible that somebody domestically foraged it. The orcs would have had to know about it, right? And nobody should have known that he took it from the vault. If it's disguised as a copper key, hidden in plain sight, why would the orcs infiltrate the town, get right next to the bedside of a sleeping king, leave him unharmed, take what looks like to be a particularly useless copper key, and then send out a giant disease and leave? I mean, they could have started the disease, true, but if they hate them so much, I would have thought they would have smashed Stumpy's skull in his sleep rather than take this key. And if that's not the case, if they knew it was the key of teleportation, then how did they know? Somebody else must have known. They must have help inside, so somebody here would know if he took it. This is all too much. I need a drink.
I mean, I've been in the library the whole time. I barely have a feeling for the city, but have either of you come across any sorts in the underground who might be involved in nefarious activities, thievery, or infiltration, espionage?
I haven't not met those type of people here. We should let's leave the throne room, the palace completely. Let's go someplace else and we'll discuss it.
Discuss it.
Exactly.
Let's go get some ale.
All right. You guys can head over to the tavern, and yeah, you can find yourself a relatively uncrowded corner. It is now getting certainly into dusk, into night. So the tavern is a lot more popular. There are a lot of different voices. It's quite hustling and bustling as normal, but you guys find yourself a table that's fairly secluded. Again, not super secretive here, but fairly out of the way before the tavern fills up completely.
Okay. Before I sit down, I go over to the bar and I ask the barkeep for 3 human ales if they have it, not the dwarven ales.
Yeah, and he'll pour you those and take 1 gold each for them, and then hand
Perfect.
them to you.
I'll pay them
And-
the 3 gold, and I'll
Yep.
take them back to the table where my companions are sitting.
Sounds good. You guys have 3 human ales.
Thank you, Mendax, for
Okay.
this beverage.
Of course, anything for my friends. Also, if Nigel's saying he wants to drink, I'm going to buy some drink. But I have something I should probably tell you. I was going to wait until we were out of the city, but do you know how I may have had some gold come into
Yes.
my possession recently? Well, I may have allegedly domestically foraged some things or something of great value in this city as part of a thieves competition, which I totally won, by the way. Okay, totally won.
Oh, Mendax. Don't tell me you've gone and got on the wrong side of some local nobleman again. We could get in a lot of trouble for that.
No, not a nobleman. Touched no nobleman. And as a matter of fact, I am of some standing now in the thieves' underworld here in Tol Karabad. I do actually know of a place that we could go to ask more questions.
This could be useful. I think, honestly, it sounded vague when we heard this from the wizard. But if they're at all involved, then surely this underground would already have some idea about the key of teleportation. If you can raise the topic very surreptitiously and see if one of them knows more than he should, knows of it in a concrete way, if you can find that out, then we'll have confirmation at least that it is something that is wider known and the chances of them being involved actually exist.
That's true. And at the very least, even if I can't bring up something about that particular artifact, I think they would definitely know if any infiltration of orcs has happened. Anything that can kind of lend credence to Stumpy's story at this point, I think. If they know that orcs were here, if they know that orcs, know their way into the king's chambers or something of that nature, that might make it worth the trip out to the orcs' encampment. But I also may have allegedly shot someone in that building. So I should probably not go alone.
Is the Thieves Guild legal?
What's your definition of legal?
No.
Abiding the law.
I believe
no.
it's completely the opposite. I believe it's the organized illegality, in fact, Carl.
Oh. Like a criminal's
Some would
club.
say that they have simply chosen to follow their own set of laws.
Oh, yes, I've heard this story before.
Like
Of course,
anarchists.
the oppression of capitalist system and currency is our enemy, and you're simply all characters taking from the rich and giving to the poor.
I'm just saying, if someone has a new pair of shoes on their feet,
Well, I'm actually barefoot right now, so I'm not sure who you're talking about because
someone has a new pair of shoes in his backpack.
Fair point. Fair point.
Well, if
I
you
believe
need me
these
to
are still
escort you,
the
I can.
breeches, the same pants that you had to give me after the gash as well. To be fair, so I guess I can owe some of my livelihood to maybe some bending of the normal moral compass.
Thank you. Carl, are you up for a little bit of a jaunt down to the other side of the tracks, as it were?
I don't have a compass.
I can lead the way.
Oh,
Are we just as long as we don't go into any establishment where they don't allow non-members? Because I don't think they'll let me and Carl in. But if we can go to maybe a watering hole where many of the members frequent, maybe you could sniff something out without going right into the belly of the beast.
That's the only problem. Well, there's a so it's a building, and there's a watering hole in the building. I'm not. I would assume you could get in that part as long as I brought you, and perhaps just not further. You know what? Screw it. I will just go. However, I'm not taking my gold with me, so I'm going to need the two of you to guard it.
Fair enough. I've already kept some silver safe this long, and it's
Carl,
staying
I'm
safe.
going to need you to guard the gold.
Well,
I mean, to
fair
be
enough.
fair, he's never lost the spoon. He still has it.
I mean, that is very, very true. He does still have the spoon. Still gonna have Carl guard it.
Fair
I
enough.
will act as guardian of this currency.
So the
Okay.
plan, if I'm understanding it correctly, then is Call and Nigel are going to guard your gold in your room, and you're going to head over to the meeting place of the Thieves Guild to try to suss out if there's been any reports of orcs or anything invading the city or sneaking in.
I mean, honestly, if we're going to go back to the rooms first, I'll just deposit my gold in the room. I feel like it's probably safe there. Actually, no. The Thieves Guild know that I'm staying there, and if somebody has stolen the key from the King's own chambers, they damn sure know how to get to our bedroom. So yes, I would still like them to keep watch over my gold.
Wouldn't it be safer if it was in a different room?
It's a very good point. You may keep it in your room or in Nigel's room. Whatever you see fit.
My room is the only one where the floor is not fucked up.
Our rooms are all in the same quarter, and we're a known entity, so if we were to hide it in someone's room, I think it would be under the doctor's bed or something like that. But I think for now, you're best to hang on to it, Carl.
I will guard it, and if anyone tries to take it from me, I will tell them to go away.
And if they don't listen,
Then I will use the password.
and if they don't take the password,
Then they will take the scythe.
I like to hear that.
Can we accompany you for
just to
some
be
measure
clear-
of safety, or no?
Can you what?
Can we at least accompany you to the entrance of the building or nearby, so we're at least there as backup? Is there some way we can add some insurance, or are you safe going in on your own?
I didn't have any problem in the streets to begin with, so I think I would be fine. And I think the closer we get, the more likely we are to be surrounded by thieves at any time. And I would hate for the two of you to find yourselves accosted on the way there or when I'm inside.
What about if I make Carl invisible and he sneaks alongside into the building with you?
That could definitely work. Cole, are you down for an invisible mission?
Sure, I guess. Does it hurt?
Being invisible, no, that I can confirm does not hurt. Teleportation, still unknown.
I'll try it. I just follow you then?
Yes, you'll just follow me and try not to take damage.
And I should only whisper,
You should not say anything.
not say anything.
Right, so no noises unless I give you the signal.
Right.
And if I give you the signal, we would need a very large noise, a very distracting noise, so that we could probably get out of there very quickly.
Okay. That works. I will follow you,
right.
silent as the grave.
You'll have 1 hour from me casting the spell, so we'll have to do it just outside.
Okay. Let's do that then.
Okay. You guys finish your beverages, or however much of them you would like to finish, before heading off to that sort of secluded district. Not the slums quite, but definitely the lower end of finances, at least in the way of the appearance from the buildings. So you head over, and it takes you 10-15 minutes to walk from where you are. You remember the path well. You walk through that alleyway where you were ambushed the first time, Mendax, but managed to escape. And you can see on the other side of the street, a bit further down, the house where the Thieves Guild meeting was at.
Okay. I'm just going to whisper under my breath to Carl. There's a house. We're going to go in. Remember? No noises. I don't actually do that, though, because that's too obvious.
Okay. Sounds good. Nigel, you're going to invisibility up on call here. Is that right?
Indeed.
All right, sounds good. And Goop is hanging out with Nigel, I just assume. I suppose I should make absolutely sure.
Yes. Yep.
Okay, perfect. Okay, Mendax, how are you going to play this? Are you just going to saunter in? What's the plan?
I think I'm going to walk in, and I'm going to go up to the bar, and I'm going to get an ale.
Okay. It was okay, so we'll say you get to the building. Call, go ahead, give me a stealth check. You are invisible, but you still make noise.
20.
Okay. You don't make much noise. You follow silently behind Mendax. The invisibility spell itself almost feels like a thin cloak or veil, almost like silk that's wrapped around your whole body. Very lightly. You look down at your hands and your feet, and you see straight through. It's a very weird feeling being invisible. You've never been invisible before. It is definitely weirds you out for a bit, but you quickly get over that feeling and follow Mendax to the building. So Mendax, you get to the building, the door is closed and locked, in fact.
I give a quick knock on the door.
Okay. Yeah, one of the members, you can hear sort of the sliding of like a shutter for a moment. And they open the door. You recognize it's one of the members from the guild that you kind of remember maybe exchanging a few words with when you were at the tournament celebration. Yeah, what can I do for you? It's just like a human male. Looks fairly unassuming.
I don't know if you remember me, the winner of the tournament. I've got some questions I'd like to ask. I think there may be a job here in town, or a job that was done, and I'm just looking for a little bit of information on it. I'd like to leave town, and I think that this information might help me find something I'm looking for.
He'll sort of scan you, and he'll look kind of behind you to see if there's anyone else who's following you. And he'll crack the door open slightly so that you can enter.
Okay. I'm going to trip and fall into the door so that it opens wider, hopefully.
Okay, yeah, go and do a No, you know what? We don't even need a roll for that. That's very clever. I like it. So you, yeah, you trip into the door and kind of push it open further. Call, you're able to slip into the room quickly before the other guy shuts the door and helps Mendax up. You all right?
Sorry, I literally just came from the tavern. Little
Bloody-
wobbly.
All right. Well, who are you hoping to talk to then about this job? What's going on now exactly?
Well, I was looking to talk to the boss, but if he's not here, whoever has the best intel on, I don't know, on ways to get in and out of the city
Mm,
undetected, if you know what I mean.
I mean, yeah, but is that something you really need to speak to the boss about? You can't just figure it out. Yeah, are you a member
Have
of
a
the
bit
guild
of a
here,
rush.
by the way? I didn't quite get that.
I am a member of this guild, at least I assume I'm an honorary member since I did compete and win your tournament.
I do remember you competing, but information is pretty well, kept secret here. We don't just hand it out to anybody, even winners of the tournament. I hope you understand.
Oh, I totally understand.
Do you have anything to trade for this information?
I might, but that would be between me and the boss.
All right. Well, if you're up for bartering, I'll see if he's available. Wait here then.
Sounds good.
And he'll walk back up the stairs, and go into the room where you all met in. He kind of gives a glance back down to you before he heads into the room. After a few more moments, he'll come back out and he'll kind of motion you up to the top of the stairs.
Okay. I walk up the stairs into the boss's room. And
Okay, Call, give me another stealth check.
Gonna be 17.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to walk up the stairs relatively noiselessly. You think it's a very clever idea to match the footsteps that Mendax does and only step when she does. So you are able to keep that rhythm without bumping into anything. Once you're at the top, the grunt will call him. Boss will see you.
thank you, Sir Grunt. And I'd like to walk over there into the boss's room then.
Name's Billy. Thank you. But all right then.
Oh, sorry, Billy. I did call him Sir or Mister. I did not mean to disrespect you. Thank you so much, Billy.
Sir Grunt. All right. And he kind of will just
Gave you knighthood.
walk back down the stairs as you head into the room. He'll close it behind you. Yeah, and you see once again that sort of large open room. The house it still looks like it's supposed to be fairly abandoned, even on the inside. It's not really been well upkept. Almost as if it's intentionally done. It's like the dust has been put back, because how many people were in this room? Definitely it should have just kind of passively kicked around some of the dust, but again, it looks like no one has walked in this area. And you actually notice that when you walk on the wood and the platforms, the dust doesn't move. It's almost like it's just kind of permanently placed there to always look like it's an abandoned building.
Interesting floor you have here.
Yeah, and at the other side of the room, kind of in at a table, chair set up, just kind of reclining back, it is Decigi, the kind of leader of the guild and the person who sponsored the tournament. Again, he's a interesting looking individual. He has bandages wrapped around his entire body, and he sits back. Oh, Mendax, what can we do for you today? Congratulations once again on your win and your newfound wealth.
Thank you. It's a very well-run tournament, I must say. First of many, I guess I've never been in one before, but I can tell you that they'd have a hard time living up to the caliber of thieves you have here.
Yep. Could agree with that. One quick moment of business to get out of the way. Who's that?
Who's who?
Who's that person behind you? Did you not know you're being followed? Should I kill
Why
them?
Well, if you could try. No, I'm kidding. That is actually. I'm not going to lie to you, Decigi, obviously, because he can see right through it. But that is Carl. He is my Kenku friend. He's actually quite well known in your fighting rings here in the city now. But after what happened with disgusting Smiggles, I thought it best to bring a bit of backup.
You'll always be safe here. Sure, you and Smiggles had disagreement. I understand. But as I also understand you got the better of him last time, I doubt he'd mess around with you. Regardless, friend of Mendax, this is quite, well, let's just say not an ordinary meeting here. We keep this location private. I hope we can trust your discretion on the matter. We can, can't we?
You are definitely allowed to speak now, Carl, and I can say that I do trust this Kenku with my life.
Well, I hope so. You're also trusting him with our lives, too. How nice of you to assume that for us.
Well, I do value my own higher than anyone else's, so...
I'll be honest, I wasn't paying super close attention when I came in here.
You see, he won't even remember a single thing we talk about.
All right, then. Well,
Can I
since
come
we
out
got
now?
that out of the way.
Yes, you can totally speak now, Carl.
Let's see. What breaks invisibility? I don't know. I don't know if you can willingly end being invisible. You have to. It just says that a spell ends for a target that attacks or casts a spell. I think you're just going to be invisible for an hour, call, unless you attack someone or you have a spell handy you can cast.
Nope, this is a conversation. I don't need to bring violence.
That's right. Yeah, unfortunately, he is invisible by spell, so he's just going to stay that way for a bit. But apparently you can see him, so that doesn't count for much. The conversation
Well, I wouldn't
was
be a
like,
very
I
good
have a-
leader of a guild if I didn't know who was in my own building.
That is quite true. Now, there are a couple things that I'm looking for a bit of information on.
Mm-hmm.
And one of those being, if you know of at any time recently that the city was possibly invaded by orcs, secretly invaded by orcs. We know that there's an encampment here, and we're trying to gauge if it's worth going to their encampment to try to find some goods. There's a lot of orcs, and I'd rather not put ourselves in danger if they didn't actually come to the Dwarven city and fill their coffers.
It's a very specific question.
A very specific amount of orcs there, which is possibly more than 100.
It's not untrue. The orcs have tried to breach the walls before. We've done our best where we can to prevent their access, if you catch my drift. The only ones allowed to steal from this city are the ones we deem. We're not very big fans of theirs. They're not very big fans of ours. So they can just go fuck themselves, really. I will say, it is actually a bit peculiar you mentioned this. Not too long ago, 2 months ago, I don't really remember, the frequency of their attempts did increase quite exponentially, if I might add. Though to our knowledge, we did dispel all of their attempts.
Interesting. Did you have any information as to why they may have been increasing in frequency at all?
Couldn't say I know. Who knows what the fuck the orcs do and why they do it? They're orcs.
Right. That's an
Well,
excellent question.
I know lots of nice orcs, but these orcs are a bit of an asshole.
Okay, so it's an entire encampment of assholes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, good on you for helping to keep them out of your city.
Or for us to steal.
If they steal it, then you can't. That's not quite fair. Speaking of that, about 2 or so months ago, I believe there was an item. This is an item stolen from the city. Have you heard? I don't know much about it. I just know it is quite powerful, and I imagine it would have been one of the things somebody would have tried to steal for the tournament, but no one did, since no one's item beat mine. And again, I don't know what it is, but I can guarantee it would have been more valuable than Princess Fufu's tiara.
I mean, that's pretty bloody valuable. What are you talking about?
That's the thing. I don't really know much about it. I know it's a key. What does it do? Where is it to? I don't really know.
You drunk?
I did just come from the tavern, but I'm not fully drunk. I stayed away from the dwarven ale this time.
You're looking for information about a key. Is that all you have to go off of here? A key? Someone's maybe stole a key?
Well, they stole an item of great power. I believe it's a magical item, but what it actually does, I don't know. I've just heard talk of key. Whether it's an item that's just called a key, whether it's an actual key, but I thought if anyone would know of an important item that was fenced or stolen to be fenced, it would have been you.
He will kind of crack his neck and lean back in his chair. Maybe there might be a key. There might be a key. Who can really say? I don't know if I know much about magical fucking keys, to be honest with you. I haven't heard not much about it, but if you like, I can check my ledger. We do keep a record, of course. We're not animals, of everything that gets stolen and turned into us. That won't be free, though.
So how much is a glance in your ledger?
You're looking for something pretty harmless. You just want to know if it's stolen. Turned into us.
I would like to know if it's been stolen and if it's been turned into you and who might have stolen it. But we'll start with one and work our way up, because I feel if we get into the ledger and it hasn't been reported at all, there's no use in me paying all that extra gold for information that's never going to be there.
Yeah, that's fair, I suppose. 21 gold to look in the ledger.
21 gold to look in the ledger.
For me to look into it.
Oh, obviously I wouldn't. Although if you look into it... No, I would never. I would never insult you that way. How about...
An honest individual.
You've been good to me this whole time, so I have no reason to complain. Okay, 21 gold it is.
That's fair. And he'll kind of hold out one of his bandaged hands.
Okay. And I give him 21 gold.
All right. He will put it on the table and count it real quick. You know, just a professional courtesy, of course.
You can
and
buy
he will.
them, they're real.
He'll take 20 of it and he'll put it in his pocket. And he'll take a ring of keys out from his coat, and he'll open up one of the drawers next to him. From that, he'll pull out a quite a large tome, actually, that has it looks like it's very well aged. There's no markings on the front cover or the spine or the back cover. It's just kind of a very faded black leather. The pages themselves are sort of like a thick paper, and they're kind of yellowed and aged from time. So you can tell that this book has existed for a very long time. There's chains that wrap around it and a lock in the center. And he takes the last gold piece and he fits it into the lock. There's sort of just a circle kind of indentation in there. And you see the gold melt actually and disperse into the lock itself, and it unlocks it. He takes off the chains, puts it to the side, and he opens the book up and kind of leans it back so that only he can see it. And he kind of flips the page, flips a few more pages. When did you think this was stolen again?
I'd say right about the time that the plague started here in Tolkarabad, so about 2 months or so ago.
That should be easy. Not to. Well, the plague was like a month ago, so we'll.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, around about a month ago.
Yeah. So yeah, all right, that should be easy. Not much theft around that time. People don't want to catch the bloody plague after all. And he'll flip forward a couple pages now that he knows a better time frame that he's looking for. Nope, no keys, and he'll close it.
Interesting.
Not that were
That
turned
is
into
interesting.
us.
None that were turned into you. So if something like this was fenced, it was not fenced here.
Not for me.
Interesting. Very interesting. So you've never heard of any magical items being stolen out of Tol Karabot?
Oh, I did not say that at all. I didn't say that in the slightest. It's not a key, not a month ago.
Is there anything else recently that stood out to you? Anything that you think may have been taken and taken out of the city?
There's not much that gets taken out, per se. I mean, we do have caravans, of course, and shipping of goods. We work with other guilds in other cities. It's all economics, of course, you understand. We don't really concern ourselves when we don't have to with magic. It gets a bit sticky. A little bit harder to trade. You're looking for more niche purchases. We like to go for that quick, fluid cash flow.
Gotcha. And the last thing I'd like to ask you, I think, of course, I could amend that statement later. Is there anybody in our guild who works in the palace of the king?
Yeah?
Do you have names?
Of course I do.
How much would those names cost me?
A lot.
How much is a lot?
I don't think you have enough. I don't sell out members of their own guild for nothing. You're asking me to step down from my morals here. I'm keeping them safe. They're my men. They're my boys.
So they're
I
men.
can't afford to. Might be. I mean,
They're your
there's a
boys,
lot of
though.
bloody men in the palace.
That's true, but we've narrowed some things down now, at least.
Sure. Why not?
Interesting.
Mendex,
Okay.
I'll make something clear. We have eyes, we have ears all over this bloody city. Of course I have people working in the palace, but they work for me. Don't
the
think I
people-
don't have eyes and ears on those people. And then eyes and ears on those people who have eyes and ears on the other people. Nothing gets stolen in this city unless I hear about it. At least, not that I
And
think
yet-
anyways.
Good to know. It seems that perhaps you may need more eyes and ears. If something was indeed stolen, and it was stolen from the palace, and if you don't know about it, it means one of your boys in the palace is not reporting their earnings to you. So I'm not trying to get you to sell them out. They've already sold you out and betrayed the guild.
Those are some bold claims. You have anything to back them up?
That's what I'm trying to get.
All right, well, tell you what. You find me proof? If you can find me proof that one of my men or women did, in fact, sell out some secrets of the city and is not reporting their earnings to me, if you can find me hard proof, I'll make sure you're compensated for it.
Good. I mean, hopefully I'd be compensated as much as the secrecy was worth, which is a lot.
You'll be compensated for it.
Okay, well then, I think we've taken up enough of your time today. And thank you again for seeing us.
It was very nice meeting you.
Yep. You too, Invisible Bird. And he'll close the book and he'll put the chains back on it and click the lock back in place, and you see the gold piece form back up and kind of pop into the air. And he'll catch it and he'll flick it at call, and it'll bop you in the head.
Ow! Can I keep this?
You can, yeah, sure.
Thank you.
It's all yours.
I would like to pick up the coin.
Yeah. All right then. Anything else, or we good?
No, I think we're good. I'd like to start walking towards the door with Carl. And as I turn around, I would like to, before I leave the door, I want to turn around and look back at him and ask, on a different note, not related, we're going to be leaving the city here soon and we need to get pretty far pretty fast. You don't happen to know of any wizards nearby who might know a bit about teleportation?
He kind of thinks to himself, scratches his bandages a little bit. Nope. Don't know any wizards. Not here, anyways.
Oh, is there any nearby, outside of Tol Karabad, within reasonable walking distance? It'd be a lot easier if they just had something that I could touch and teleport.
Yeah, I've never heard of anything like that. You kind of asking out of my league. If you want, I can put out a call. I mean, again, that's going to cost you money, but I can put out some searches for information for you.
How much would that cost?
Bloody hell. You're just looking for what? What do you want exactly? You're looking for teleportation magic? Is that even possible? Can you even do that?
I know that the magic exists, but I know that it's usually high-level wizards, or I think there's certain things that they can imbue with that magic, but I'm not really sure how that works. But I do know it is high-level magic. If we could put a call out for just anybody with teleportation magic, teleportation knowledge.
Sorry, did you say something to me?
No, you're still good. You're still good, Carl.
I thought you said to put a call out.
He'll say, for basic information that I'm not even sure I can get, another 10 gold. We'll return half of it if we don't come back with anything. I'm not holding my breath for it, but I'll do what I can.
That sounds very reasonable. I'd like to give him 10 gold before I leave.
Yep. Okay, yeah, he takes it and puts the 10 gold. He kind of opens up another drawer and just kind of drops the 10 gold into it and closes it. Come back in a few days. We should have something for you by then.
That sounds good. All right, thank you so much. We'll see you in a few days then. Be well.
Bye-bye.
All right, come on, Carl.
Yes.
I'd like to exit the building, exit the room, down the stairs, exit the building, and walk to go find Nigel.
Yep. Billy kind of grunts at you as you leave. Yeah, you guys are free to walk back to the alleyway where Nigel is at. Not accosted by anybody, not stopped.
I'm here, Nigel. I'm still invisible.
Ah, fantastic. How'd it go? It's pretty immaculate, isn't it? They don't even see a glimmer of you. Perfect invisibility.
Yes, it was amazing. Until that one man said, "Who are you?"
Oh, were you breathing heavily?
Oh, no. He
Chewing
could just
gum?
see him.
He could... Did anyone else see him?
No one else, but the only person who needed to not see him.
Well, I guess he's a more experienced master of the Thieves Guild than we expected. Probably could have foreseen that a master of stealth and thievery might not be the smartest person to trick with a piece of illusory magic. I guess
Don't
we'll be
blame
more
yourself,
prepared next
Nigel.
time.
Don't blame yourself on that. It worked very well on Sir Grunt Billy.
Well, as long as I'm able to trick a simpleton. Fantastic. So what did you learn? Did we find out anything?
Not as much as I would have liked. According to him, if it was stolen, if it was orcs, about the time of the plague starting, the orcs did pick up the frequency of trying to get in the city. Usually this Thieves Guild repels them. They don't want them stealing things that they should be stealing themselves. They don't think that any got in, but they couldn't say for sure. There are members of the Thieves Guild working in the palace, so there's potential that one of them could have helped the orcs get in to steal the key. They've never heard of any kind of magical object. We checked the ledger. They had nothing of anything remotely looking or sounding like that was fenced through the Thieves Guild here in Tol Karabad. So we have an inquiry out in regards to just general teleportation magic. I did not tell him that was the object we were looking for. I just told him that we would be needing to travel soon and fast and far, and we're willing to pay for information or help and try to find it. So if somebody in the city does still have it, we may be able to find out in the next few days. However, unfortunately, there wasn't as much information as just pointing us in the proper direction. But it does seem that orcs were definitely trying to get into the city far more at the same time.
Indeed. Well, I mean, we've been itching for an adventure and a chance to stretch our legs outside of this city. There is a chance we could go there, but from the sounds of it, I mean, this sounds like a pretty awful orc fortress. I think if we go there, we err on the side of stealth rather than brute force.
Definitely. Now, the Thieves Guild does say that in 2 or 3 days, he doesn't know that they'll have any information for us, but he may have some information for us. So he wanted to wait a day or so before we go stealthily to the orc encampment. We may have a bit more information on our side.
So just as a reminder, Stumpy said he would meet you that night
That's right,
to
at
get
midnight.
you the boat.
Oh, God
You're
damn.
free to do with that info as you will. Just wasn't sure if that was
Shit, I
clear.
got my 10 gold back. Totally forgot. God damn it. That's okay, because if we don't get it, we still have that as a backup.
I mean, the only other thing besides going out for the orcs and waiting for this information is, and obviously this is abusing Stumpy's trust a little bit, but we could just simply start throwing about the term a little bit and see how people react when we mention the key of teleportation.
You have about 2 hours before your time that you were going to meet him.
We don't really have time to do that.
Shit.
Just letting you know.
Maybe we have time to get some snacks.
I don't think so. I think we're going to have to go on a quick fast.
Oh. I do have some rations if we need to be on our way.
I think if you're going to try this, then we're going to have to be stealthy, and we're going to have to go now.
Shit. The invisibility just ended. That was fun.
God. Okay, I forgot you were standing on that side of me.
Hello.
Is this sneaky call that we're getting? Hello.
What?
I quite like him.
I'm very stealthy.
Quite.
We should go
Okay,
meet Stumpy
what-
then.
No, we
Alright.
need to go to the orcs first before we go meet Stumpy.
No, we're going to meet Stumpy because he has a boat, so we can go to the orcs.
Oh, I thought we had to meet Stumpy at midnight with the thing.
The thing is the boat.
Oh, no.
Oh, good.
It's
Okay,
a
well then
few-
that's
few
easy.
days
I think we
boat ride
totally
away.
have time. We totally have time to get some snacks then.
That's what I was just saying.
Who wants snacks?
Let's go. Snack time. All right, beef jerky. I want pork rinds. I want everything.
Leg of lamb.
We'll
ale.
say you guys spend the next 2 hours and 10 gold or so. We'll just kind of throw out a relatively low price for all three of you. You can split that up as you choose. Collecting various kind of beverages and meals that will keep for the next few days. As he did mention, it'll take probably a couple days to get to that fortress. and then obviously a couple days back. So yeah, I think you guys can spend the next 2 hours doing that, and then you're good to go and meet with Stumpy.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. And I think that's actually probably a really solid time to call it there. We've been going for about 3.5 hours, so a little bit over our usual, but we're all primed and set now for the next chapter, the next little adventure that the Wayfarers get to go on. We'll pick it back up with meeting Stumpy in secrecy over at the docks, getting your boat and making your way towards the Orc Castle Kingdom, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, kind of a, I mean, with you guys, I never know what direction it's going to go in. So I still have all of those maps ready to go for next time. Looking forward to it. I hope you guys enjoyed this session. You guys got to meet Steven and Bumblemore, McStumblefumble, two of my most favorite NPCs so far. So yeah, I think that's probably a pretty good spot.
And we'll
Yeah,
see
this
you.
was awesome.
We'll see you the week after next, 9 p.m. Pacific time for Wayfarers. It's always a joy coming on with Mendax Nigel and the amazing DM, who's very benevolent, helping us remember that boats exist. Cobra Venom, thank you as well, and the fantastic people in the chat. We will see you on the next episode of Wayfarers, which will be episode 15.
Ooh.
Stay safe. Carry potions. And be honest most of the time.